We'll go radio for the time being, and then whenever they get around to calling me back, we'll switch to the audio stream. But we are live on the air right now, and if that is too loud, I apologize. All right, good evening and welcome to Romeo Langford Court here at the Doghouse on the campus of New Albany High School. As tonight we're going to be bringing you coverage of middle school action. It'll be Scribner versus Hazelwood. 7th grade to start here in about 10 minutes, and then the 8th graders to follow. We are kicking off our pregame here with Coach Jason Jones at New Albany High School, the varsity coach. And this is, at least with me, is the first time I've seen you up on the catwalk. Yeah. Have you had been an opportunity to get up here and get the vantage point of how we broadcast your ball games?
Not on a game night. I was up here when nobody was up here, so this is an interesting vantage point from up here.
It's my favorite in the state, actually. I hate getting stuck off on the corners or down on the floor, and we're able to.
It's a great view from right here.
Before we talk a little bit about tonight's ball games, I want to talk about you and your team first. You're coming from a most recent job out in Kansas, and just curious about how you would compare and contrast the environment that we have here in Indiana compared to some of the other stops that you've had before.
Yeah, I mean, every place has its, interesting things that environments, people care about it, but not like here. I just haven't, the atmosphere we've had here for our home games has been phenomenal, and just the support and the following, it's definitely unlike anywhere I've been for sure.
You all go into your contest on Friday night with an 11-3 record. You're sitting just outside the top 20 in the state rankings. As you have instituted a new style of play, a little bit different from what we were used to a year ago, and you've gotten adjusted to a new ball club that you're working with, how do you feel the transition has gone for you so far?
I think pretty smooth. As smooth as these things go, there's always some, we got to figure things out on the fly. But I think the guys have bought into the style of play. I think we still have a long way to go, but I think we're playing pretty unselfish and playing pretty hard. And that's kind of been our thing since day one. If you can play unselfish and play hard, typically good things are going to happen for you. And proud of our guys. It's not easy, the way things went down as late as I took the job, and so I think we're ahead of schedule in my mind, but obviously we don't want to focus on that. We just want to focus on getting better every day.
I've been out to watch both of these teams play. I've got a daughter playing basketball over at Scribner, so I see this team a little bit more. I'd have to say there's a considerable amount of talent in our feeder system, and especially really 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We got a lot of talented kids coming up here. When you applied for the job or came and did the interview, were you already aware of what was in the pipeline, or were you made aware during the interview process of what you might have to look forward to in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I did not know coming in that we were this talent deep in the lower levels. We did talk about it in the interview process, and as I've gotten into the community a little bit here, just getting to know the kids and the families, and we've got some real special kids on the way, and I think the future's definitely bright.
I went to a coaching clinic many years ago, and they talked about the differences in the different levels. Where in the pros, it's how you draft and manage your money. In college, it's recruiting. And obviously at the high school level, it's the feeder programs and youth development. Talk a little bit about your philosophy in terms of the interaction with the elementary and middle school teams that you do, whether that's in season like something we're doing tonight or especially out of season once we get to the beginning of you having a full out of season to work with them.
Yeah. No, I think it's real important to try to have a flow to what's going on at every level. We did a feeder coaches clinic to kick off the season where we kind of went through everything that we're doing, terminology, scheme, things like that, try to get everybody on the same page. But, I think in any people business, it's about building relationships, and that's really what we've tried to do with the kids and the families and the coaches. And, good, bad, or otherwise, high schools are turning into a recruiting battle a little bit too. If you don't get your kids to come, somebody else is fighting for them, and so I think we're trying to make sure we do that as well and really build those relationships with those kids.
Well, and that's something interesting because we went through this with Romeo Langford here 7 or 8 years ago, and especially the first couple of years, there was the constant worry about, can you hang on to them? What is it that we can provide at New Albany that maybe if they go off to one of these prep schools or basketball factories, how do we make it more attractive to them? When you're having those conversations, because we do have some kids where there's a legitimate possibility people are going to have an interest in them,
for sure.
And it is the nature of the game, as you say. What's your selling point on here's why New Albany is the best situation for you?
Yeah, I think we got a couple things. I think anytime you have some continuity of playing with the same kids you grew up with, there's a level of comfort and things like that where the style of play is going to fit you better. I think Indiana in general has a couple of things. It's a very talent-rich state. So I think, as those conversations start to happen, we're looking already ahead at how do we get out there and find talent, high talent games to be a part of, tournaments, whatever that might be. And then I think at the end of the day, you can't beat the atmosphere and the support that you get in New Albany. You go to one of those prep schools and there's going to be 30 people in the stands and a few college coaches, and that's pretty much what it's going to be. And not that those aren't great players, but they can't provide what we're going to provide here in terms of following, support, and just people that really care.
All right, we'll let you get back down there. I know it like you said, it's important to be seen and be down there and have your interactions with the kids here. So I want to thank you for taking a couple minutes with us, and best of luck this weekend against Evansville North and Jasper.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, New Albany head coach Jason Jones here on the pregame report, and we've got a couple of our broadcasters now going to jump in here. The normal crew of Katie Sullivan and Sophia Corley. They'll be doing our 7th grade ball game, and then Tyler Hubbard and Caden Rogers will be jumping in for the 8th grade game. I'm not sure what I'm reaching for.
Oh, of the rosters.
Yeah, you're on the air. So
yeah.
We just got rosters given to us before the ball game. So this is 7th grade because I see Mr. Studemeyer's name on there, so that should help us try to figure out who is which. You all have both had an opportunity, I suspect, to see some of these guys play or have at the very least heard about them, and we have got a considerable amount of talent coming up in these groups here. I believe I saw over the weekend that our combined feeder programs went off to Bloomington. There was a tournament of champions that took place with schools from around the state. Both the 7th grade New Albany group that we're about to see, players from both of those teams that were involved in that, they won the state championship this past weekend. The 8th grade team did. I think they have won the Clark Floyd championship at every level, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and on here. So y'all have been witness to some good Bulldog teams, especially when you all are a little bit younger. Seeing these guys out here, what sort of excitement do we have about where the future of New Albany athletics, at least in boys basketball, is headed?
I mean, I was in middle school when I remember the whole New Albany arena being sold out for Romeo Langford, and I'd be in the stands with my family and friends, as everybody was, just watching Romeo play and have the time of his life out here on New Albany's court. And with all of this talent coming up, I mean, I'm looking out here, there's so many boys with so much talent on both sides of the end, 7th and 8th grade, both grades as well. It's very exciting for New Albany, for sure, to have names like Noah Washington and Carson Studemeyer coming up. Just very exciting. What do you think, Katie?
Well, going in a little bit more into detail about what you said, obviously loads of talent here. And in those two names you just mentioned, them alone, they have the potential to carry New Albany to future victories. Hopefully that's what we're looking for. But both boys in the 7th grade game will be focusing on Studemeyer. He's tall for his age. He's grown. He can get up the floor. He's fast. He's got good ball movement, good handles. Like, he's just full package. So super excited to see. Expecting him to be the star of the game this game, but I'm not counting anybody else out, and I am excited.
I will say the one that intrigues me a lot, and I've actually talked about his sister in the same regards because we have a lot of good guards
Talk about
coming
Huggins.
through on the girls' side.
Yeah.
Is Jalen Huggins coming up next year? Her younger brother Aiden is raw, but I'm telling you, the kid's got about a 6'10", maybe bigger wingspan. He's going to have a lot of improvement to do with some of his skills, but you cannot teach the height and especially the length, and he does a really good job blocking shots without getting into foul difficulty here. So you're going to have scorers in that group or the group above him, but he's going to give a dynamic that we have not had in a long time at New Albany, probably since the Thomas kid was here a few years ago, and he was no kind of an offensive threat, but he could block shots and get you some rebounds. And really, we haven't had anybody bigger than about 6'4" since that time. And it creates some problems when you run into a Kokomo like we did this year with a Flory Badunga or Evansville North, which is our worst loss. They had a couple of 6'8" guys in the lineup. To be able down the line to have somebody that could potentially be 6'7", 6'8", and a shot blocker, I think is really going to help.
Going off for the tip-off, we have everybody set in court. We have Huggins going up against Wolf for the tip-off. Wolf will go ahead and get it. It'll be in the hands of Wint for Hazelwood, going straight to the rim down the right side of the floor. Sorry, that's not Wint, that's Mitchell right there. He went straight to the right side of the floor, picked up a foul right there, straight to the line right off the bat.
Hazelwood coming in strong for this game. Only 7 seconds have run down off the clock, and they have already gotten to the boards, already drawn a foul. Up there shooting free throws right now. First one is up, and it's good.
I mean, already Wolf able to get that tip over Huggins, decently shorter than him, able to hop up there and get that to his team. The first free throw will be knocked down by Mitchell. The second one as well, so it'll be 2-0 Hazelwood with the lead right now. Studemeyer taking it out for Hazelwood, or for Scribner, getting it inbounds to Jackson, but he'll fall out of bounds, so Hazelwood taking possession back on the sideline.
Getting a little bit tedious there, letting it slip out of their hands there. Scribner's got to do a better job of handling the ball here.
Sanders taking it out for Hazelwood. He tries to inbound it to Roland right in the short corner, but it'll just fall out of bounds. So Scribner will go ahead and take possession back right in the same spot Hazelwood was just taking it out. We have Eisenberg taking it out, getting it into Studemeyer. Studemeyer on the left side of the floor looking to go all the way. He finds Jackson down low. Jackson in the corner. He'll miss that shot. He'll find Huggins, though. Well, Huggins got the rebound right there. He'll be fouled by Wolf on the floor, so Scribner taking it out underneath their basket.
Right there, like I said in the pregame, Studemeyer just so long. I don't even know if you would say long, but he can just get up the floor in only a few strides, and that's a major advantage, especially for his age category.
We have it inbounded to Huggins, just in the post. Huggins trying to bully through two Hazelwood defenders right there, but it'll be knocked out of bounds, giving Scribner the ball.
If I was Huggins, I would just catch it, keep it over my head, and go right back up.
I know, he really just has to keep the ball over his head, and it's going to go in every time. We have Studemeyer for three from the wing. It won't fall, but he gets his own rebound. Pro hop through his two defenders, go up, no good. Rebounded by Huggins. Huggins goes back up. It does not fall. Studemeyer with a steal. He goes back up with his left hand, and it's good. So 2-2 right here. We have Scribner in a full court press. Hazelwood trying to get it in. Wolf inbounds it to Sanders. Sanders bringing it up the floor for the Bullpups. He's guarded by Jackson still. Hasn't crossed half court. Now on the left side of the floor. He's trying to do something with it. He goes to the top of the key, swings it over to Jenkins. Jenkins on the right wing. Then to Wint. Wint on the left wing. Wint swinging it over to Mitchell. Mitchell at the top of the key. Mitchell looking to go left. He goes all the way to the rim. It's no good. Rebounded by Huggins. Huggins getting it out quick to Studemeyer. Studemeyer going up with his right hand. It's good, and he'll be fouled on that finish, putting him at the line.
Going up strong there up against his defenders. I want to say in the last play when you mentioned that New Albany is running a press, and going back to something that Brian said in the pregame show, Huggins standing there and, he really doesn't even have to do that much with that sort of length in him. He's just standing at half court. He only has to take a couple of steps, and he's able to trap whoever's trying to push the ball up the court.
Huggins going to get a foul right there as Wolf was able to get the rebound on the free throw. Huggins just trying to get it and will make contact with his arm. So Hazelwood taking it out underneath Scribner's basket. Hazelwood's going to call a timeout right here, not able to inbound it because of Scribner's press.
Well, we got to the gym, and I think there was a lot of question about whether, and I didn't see what the scores of the first ball games were when Hazelwood and Scribner played over at Scribner. This is technically, even though it's here at the high school, a home game for Hazelwood tonight, but they moved it over here to be able to accommodate a bigger crowd. People wanted to come out, and it's a decent-sized crowd. I'd say we probably have about 500 or 600 people in here already. You can't see on the screen everybody that's below us here on the catwalk. But the anticipation that maybe Scribner was going to have way too much in this game would get out of hand. Right now, there's been some turnovers there and some nerves for these guys playing in the big gym. But right now, Hazelwood doing a pretty decent job hanging in there in the opening moments.
Yeah, 4-2 right now. Scribner with the 2-point lead at the moment. Hazelwood taking it out, still in a full court press by Scribner. Sanders getting it in bounds to Roland. Roland driving down the left side of the floor. He'll have a jump stop right there. Studemeyer just coming in hot, trying to pick off a steal, and we'll go ahead and foul him, running straight into him.
Yeah, Carson didn't expect Roland to come to a halt right there, and he just kept on running through him.
Sanders swinging it to Roland. Roland to Mitchell at the top of the key. Mitchell looking to go left, putting the ball back in his right hand, picking up the ball. He finds Went in the short corner. Back out to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to throw up a three. It'll be blocked by Studemeyer. Then into Wolf's hands. Wolf going up with his right hand. A good finish for Wolf right there, 4-4. Scribner getting it inbounds to Sloan. Sloan looking to go up the right side of the floor. He's on the wing now, picks up his dribble, gives it to Eisenberg in the corner. He shoots one up. It won't go in, and it falls out of bounds. Hazelwood taking possession.
That's good. That's good thought there by David Sloan as he brought it up the court, went behind the back to slow down, almost hesitate, and he found an open guard in the corner. He took that shot, and, it was a good shot. That's all you can ask for.
Sanders getting it inbounds to Mitchell. Mitchell is guarded by Studemeyer, full court. Mitchell on the right side of the floor now. A screen set for him, so he goes left, drives middle. He kicks it back out to Sanders at the top of the key. Sanders playing with the ball, looking to go right. He drives all the way, goes up with his right hand. It's no good, but he rebounds it himself for three, and it's blocked by Huggins. Huggins getting it out quick to Studemeyer. Studemeyer on the right side of the floor. A nice finish on the right side for him, 6-4. Scribner with the 2-point lead. Sanders on the right side of the floor looking to go quick. He's on the wing now, slows up, swings it to Mitchell. Mitchell standing near the HHC logo. Now at the top of the key. Swinging it over to Mitchell. Picking it up on the wing. He'll throw it out of bounds right there. Scribner taking possession.
Roland picked up his dribble up at the top of the key and was motioning for, I think it was Sanders to try and do a backdoor cut, and Sanders kind of jabbed that way, and Roland ended up throwing it thinking that he was going to complete that cut.
Studemeyer with the ball in his hands. He finds Eisenberg down low. Back to Studemeyer. Studemeyer trying to finish with the reverse, but it won't fall. It's going to be tipped out of bounds by Scribner.
Good catch on the baseline by the cheerleader there. Nice job. We give a shout out to Coach Hupp for training those girls not to dive out of the way when the ball comes in there.
Sanders throwing it all the way down the floor to Mitchell. Mitchell going up, not able to finish. Studemeyer on the left side of the floor now finds Huggins down low. Huggins goes up with his right hand. A nice finish. Almost falls out of the rim, but it goes in. 8-4, Scribner, 4-point lead. Roland with the ball in his hands. He gives it over to Sanders. Sanders is guarded by Jackson. Sanders at the top of the key. Now on the left wing, he swings it over to Wolf. Wolf is guarded by Huggins. He looks to go right, and he's blocked by Huggins at the volleyball line. He then swings it to Mint in the short corner. Back out to Sanders. Sanders to Roland. Roland for three in the left corner. No good. Rebounded by Went. Went giving it back to Sanders on the right wing. Looking to drive into the middle of the floor. He picks it up, gives it back to Wint. Wint looking to drive all the way on the right side. It's good. Count the basket.
You got to give credit to Wint. That kid is, compared to Huggins or even Studemeyer, he's just itty-bitty.
It takes 3 of Wint to make 1 of Huggins.
Yeah.
And he just drove into 3 Scribner defenders, made the basket, and gets another opportunity at the line. We have
Absolutely. That's impressive.
I am fairly certain this is the son of Nathan Wint, who was one of my teammates at New Albany. And Nathan was probably about 5'6", but he was fearless going to the basket. Great shooter. And I tell you what, his son reminds me a lot of him, if indeed that is.
We had 4 subs coming for Scribner right here. So a new lineup. We have Goldman swinging it to Garmin. Garmin for 3 at the top of the key, and it's no good. Be rebounded by Mitchell. Mitchell in the middle of the floor looking to push in transition on the left side. He'll pull up from the block. No backboard needed. Just goes straight in. Garmin pushing the ball in transition on the right side of the floor. He picks it up, swings it out to Jenkins. Jenkins then to Goldman. Goldman for 3. No good. Rebounded by Rowland. Rowland getting it down the court quick to Sanders. Sanders wide open. Finishes with his right hand. 11-8. A 3-point lead for the Bullpups right now. Garmin with the ball in his hands. Getting it down the court quick to Mayfield. Mayfield at the top of the key. A handoff to Garmin. Garmin on the left wing. He'll pull up from the left wing, and it falls. Tie ball game now, 11-11 with 1 minute and 15 seconds left in the first period. Wint with the ball in his hands on the right side of the floor. He's on the wing now, picks up his dribble, swings it back out to Sanders. Sanders on the right side of the floor, swings it over to Mitchell. Mitchell just handling it himself now. Looks to drive baseline. He's on the baseline. Cut off. Gives it back out to Sanders. Sanders on the wing. Looks to pick up his dribble. Gives it back to Mitchell in the corner. Mitchell in the right corner. He'll spin, playing with it. He's double teamed now, looking to find somebody. It'll be stolen by Goldman.
Looks like they're going to call a travel on that one, though, as he was trying to pivot around.
Yeah, travel on Mitchell before the steal by Goldman. So we're going to give it to Scribner underneath Hazelwood's basket. Get it inbounded to Garmin. Garmin's picked up by Wint. He gets it down the floor to Goldman. Goldman to Mayfield. Mayfield giving it to Hamilton. Hamilton trying to kick it back out to Garmin, but passes it straight to Wint. Wint taking Garmin one-on-one. Not able to finish that one right there, but he'll have 2 opportunities at the line as he was fouled on that layup.
I will add that Scribner has a full new rotation in, with the exception of Jackson. Jackson down there, he has stayed in, but first free throw is up. No good.
11-11, still a close game. First quarter, 33 seconds left. Scribner not taking off their press, and Hazelwood looking to now get up as well. We have Scribner trying to get the ball in. They get it to Garmin. He's picked up by Wint full court. Garmin trying to fly right by him on the right side. He picks up his dribble. It's going to be a travel right there.
Looks like he was trying to drive right side and almost Euro step through his defenders. He got double teamed there, wasn't able to do that.
Try to get it inbounded to Wint, and it'll end up in Crowder's hands. Crowder getting it back to Wint. 20 seconds. Wint with the ball in his hands, driving down the left side. He'll kick it back out to Sharp. Sharp from the short corner, and it'll fall. 12-11, 8 seconds left. Garmin on the left side of the floor. 5 seconds. Garmin looking to drive. He'll kick it back out to Jenkins. Jenkins to Hamilton. Hamilton back to Jenkins. Jenkins throwing a 3 up there, but it was late. This end of that quarter, 14-11. The Bullpups with a 3-point lead.
Well, that was pretty entertaining first quarter of basketball there. I'm not sure that that's really what we expected, was to see Hazelwood out to any sort of advantage, let alone get all the way through the quarter, and a fairly high-scoring quarter for Hazelwood it was as well. Coach Garmin going to the bench early there, took out his entire starting lineup. I don't think he was really happy with what he was seeing there in terms of some of the execution and finishing stuff. But I doubt that we're going to see Huggins and Studemeyer sitting on the bench the entire second quarter as well. We talked about it, kind of the unselfishness, or actually more like fearlessness of the Hazelwood team. Wint and Mitchell and Rowland, really all 3 of them feeling very comfortable handling the pressure of the Panthers. And they've got a little bit of confidence. Now we'll see if that is able to spill over. Coach Garman did not make any changes here, so he's going to go with the same lineup that he ended the first quarter with.
Garman getting it in and kicking it out to Hamilton from the right wing. He'll throw up a three. It's rebounded by Garman. Garman now in the right corner. Playing with his defender, he looks to go, kicks it to Mayfield in the opposite corner. Mayfield now driving middle. He looks to go all the way. He throws one up. There's going to be a block called on Crowder, so Mayfield going to the line with an opportunity. Oh, just kidding. They're going to call that one.
The basket.
Yeah, they're going to call that one on the floor. So Mayfield now taking the ball out for the Panthers. Looking to get it inbounds. Finds Garman in the corner for three. No good, but it's rebounded by Goldman. Goldman swinging the ball to Garman. Garman, a little floater right there.
Ooh,
just falls out of the rim. In Mitchell's hands now. Mitchell's guarded by Mayfield. Mitchell swinging it to Crowder. Crowder on the left wing. Crowder picking up his dribble on the block. A handoff to Mitchell. Mitchell falling out of bounds right there. They're going to say he stepped on the line and give the ball to the Panthers.
I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Looks like he was trying to drive baseline, got cut off, and then almost tried to look back and throw it behind him, and just did not work out.
Looks like Hazelwood trying to trap Garman up top right there. Won't work. Get it to Goldman down low. Goldman swinging it to Garman at the top of the key. He'll jab at his defender. Find Mayfield for three on the wing. No good. It's rebounded by Crowder. Crowder with the ball in his hands. 14-11 still. Hazelwood with the lead. 4 minutes and 54 seconds left in this half. It'll be in Sharp's hands at the top of the key for the Bullpups. They're going to call a foul on Garman right there as Sharp was nearly at the free throw line trying to drive. So Hazelwood getting it out underneath their basket. Going to be inbounded by Neil Johnson. He tries to get it in, but will throw it right to Hamilton. Hamilton down the right side of the floor, looks to go all the way. He's going to be fouled by Chambers as he goes up on the right side.
Chambers looking to take him on the hip there, and as he's shooting the shot, or as Hamilton was shooting the shot, just completely swiped down. No contact with the ball. 4 minutes and 43 seconds left to go. First free throw is up, no good.
Hamilton at the free throw line. Another chance to earn one after the first miss. Again, still 14-11. No score yet here in the second quarter for either team. Here we go. Scribner knocking down that second free throw, making it 14-12. Bullpups still with the lead. Hazelwood getting it inbounded to Sharp. Sharp on the left side of the floor. He'll be double teamed. Scribner applying some good pressure, but it'll be tipped out of bounds by Goldman. So Hazelwood just getting it right back on the sideline.
Looks like we're going to have Crowder taking it out.
Crowder inbounding it to Sharp. He'll just now cross half court, give it right back to Crowder. Crowder looking to go left. He'll give it to Neil Johnson in the corner. Neil Johnson losing it a little bit. It'll be Thomas will get on the floor to try and get that ball right there, but he stood up with the ball in his hand, so they're going to call a travel on him, give it to Scribner.
I'll say that both ends, or both teams need something both teams need to work on is their spacing. I feel like that's causing them a lot of issues right now in this ball game. Just not a whole lot of room to move or even to dribble.
And Neil Johnson inbounding it for the Bullpups after a turnover by the Panthers. Crowder's with it. They're going to call a foul on Goldman as he's applying heavy pressure to Crowder in the backcourt.
That will tie up the foul count with 2-2.
Crowder inbounding it again, trying to find somebody. He'll get it to Neil Johnson. Neil Johnson on the right side of the floor. They're going to call a travel on him right there.
Looks like we've got a whole new rotation of Scribner players coming in here. Studemeyer still on the bench.
There we've got Rice inbounding it now to Koch. We'll have it in Rice's hands. He'll hand it off to Hikely. Hikely back to Rice. Rice now to Hikely. Hikely out to, Hughes, Ketterer. Be a baseline drive right there. This is so hard. Oh my gosh.
You're
There's
surviving.
so many of them.
Yes, they've got about 15.
God.
I think it's Hilke.
Hilke? Okay, sorry. Hilke inbounding the ball right now underneath Scribner's basket. He'll get it inbounded to Abbott. Abbott at the top of the key, a handoff to Ketterer. Ketterer now giving it to Rice. He's pretty far out on the left side wing, looking to drive right. He'll pro hop through 2 defenders, but I think are they gonna call that one on the floor?
No, I think it's on the shot, but he kind of got bailed out there as he kind of tried to do a curl hop, but then he took 2 steps and then he tried to hop. Luckily, he was fouled before that, so I don't know if the refs thought he was going up for a shot when he was really just coming to a jump stop. But either way, we're shooting here. First one is good.
Yeah, that'll make the score 14-13 after that first free throw. The Panthers trailing by 1. A sub for the Bullpups coming in. Crowder taking a seat, and Townsend coming in for the first time tonight. Second free throw, good for the Panthers, tying up the ball game 14-14. Still applying full court pressure. Rice is on Thomas. Thomas giving it to Townsend in the right side or on the left side of the floor. It'll be picked off by Abbott. Abbott not able to handle the pressure, so he tries throwing it to Ketterer, but there's going to be a timeout by Scribner before he can turn that ball over right there.
I almost feel like Abbott was just moving a little bit too fast. His feet were moving too fast, and his hands couldn't keep up with it. He couldn't keep up with the ball. So I don't even know if I would call that a turnover because of the defense, more so just against himself, which I completely get. I think every basketball player has been there when you just lose control of the ball, and especially in a considerably bigger game. You know, you're playing up in the high school gym. There's a lot of nerves, and those things are bound to happen.
I think I might have discussed this whenever the girls Hazelwood and Scribner team was playing, but as a middle schooler, I went to Scribner, and you did too. I don't know if you ever got the opportunity to play on New Albany's court when you were in middle school, but I didn't.
I did in spring league.
Okay.
That was big for me.
Yeah, spring league was fun for sure. But these guys being able to play on this court early has got to be something really special for them, for sure. It'll be Rice with the ball in his hands on the left side. He goes up and one.
Yay. He went up left side there.
How do you say that again?
Hilke?
Okay.
Getting the thumbs up from the far left over here.
Rice at the free throw line. 16-14. Not able to knock that one down. It'll be in Sharp's hands. Sharp's trying to get it to Wink. It'll be a turnover there. Panthers getting it down the court to Hilke quick, and he's good on the right side of the floor. 18-14. Panthers with a 4-point lead now. Hazelwood trying to throw it down the court fast. Panthers getting the steal right there. Ketterer down low for 2. It'll fall. A 6-0 run for the Panthers right there. 3 steals in a row, just getting Hazelwood pretty out of control. I mean, they were just kind of throwing passes wherever they wanted to throw just for a second there. Got a bit out of control. Just take that timeout to settle down and talk the Hazelwood players through Scribner's pressure, I'd assume.
Well, the crowd is getting bigger and bigger. We'd anticipate probably by the start, I see our camera person's family walking in down here as well. Probably by the start of the fourth quarter, we'll have obviously everybody that's here for the 7th grade game, and most of the folks that are here to watch the 8th grade game will be in attendance. And I think we are looking at probably trying to look over the side down below. We got to be pushing about 800 to 1,000 right now. I bet we'll be around 1,300 to 1,500 folks in attendance for this ball game. And I've been to a lot of games, boys and girls, this year where we have not had a crowd of this size. So it speaks to the enthusiasm of Bulldog fans and also the hope for what we could potentially be looking at in the future.
Hazelwood trying to break this Scribner press. We'll get it inbounded to Wint. Wint on the left side of the floor, bringing it up. He's guarded by Abbott. He'll give it to Sharp on the left wing. Sharp feeding his post. Fox giving it back out to Townsend. Townsend will be called for a carry right there on the left wing, so Panthers taking possession again.
Yeah, a big guy like Townsend who probably should be on the post, working that to his advantage. Probably shouldn't be up at the top of the key trying to be a point guard.
Hilke finding Ketterer on a backdoor cut right there. Ketterer just kind of throwing it up, looking for that reverse, but he'll get fouled on it, sending him to the free throw line. Again, 22-14 after the Panthers were able to get those 3 steals in a row and get up by 6 after they tied the ball game. So Ketterer now having the chance to earn some free throws now. First one knocked down, some subs for Hazelwood coming in.
I will note that I guess they're not doing the bonus rule for middle school, as Hazelwood has fouled 6 times, and so by that rule, they would be going to the free throw line after every foul at this point. But second free throw is up, off center to the right, no good.
Yeah, the free throw not falling, but Hilke able to save that before it falls out of bounds and throw it off of a Hazelwood player's foot, giving the Panthers the ball back. Ketterer with it, giving it to Abbott. Abbott driving middle, kicking it over to Koch for 3 in the corner, no good. Rebounded by Abbott. Abbott giving it to Hilke. Hilke to Ketterer. Ketterer on the left wing now. He's guarded by Mitchell. Swinging it over to Rice. Rice on the right side of the floor finds Hilke. Hilke looking to drive all the way, no good. Rebounded by Rice again. Rice kicking it out to Ketterer at the top of the key. Ketterer swinging it to Abbott. Abbott for 3. No good, and it's rebounded by Hazelwood. It'll be in Fox's hands now, but it's stolen by Ketterer.
Woo.
Ketterer getting a pass to Hilke right there. Hilke finishing on the left side and getting fouled, which is sending him now to the free throw line.
That was a smooth pass by Ketterer. He saw Hilke wide open. Well, I guess not even wide open, but he threw a nice behind-the-back bounce pass to the block to find one of his teammates, and judging on the audience's reactions, they weren't expecting that, and neither was I.
That and one, no good, but 23-14, Panthers with the lead. It'll be in Wink's hands. Wink giving it down low to Wolf. Wolf going up strong, making the basket, and able to earn another one at the free throw line. Lots of and one opportunities going on, but I don't think any of them have been able to finish that 3rd-point free throw here yet. Maybe Studemeyer in the first quarter, I think he hit his and one, but besides that, you're young, still working on that shooting form. Free throws are really important in high school basketball.
Absolutely.
And that's something that all these guys are going to need to spend hours and hours working on, is just shooting at the free throw line for sure. Hilke with the ball in his hand, giving it over to Koch. Koch back to Hilke. Hilke driving left, swinging it to Rice. Rice on the left wing. He spins, goes left, kicks it back out to Abbott. Abbott giving it to Hilke. Hilke for 3, and it falls. 26-17. Panthers with the lead. It'll be in Mitchell's hands. He's going down the left side of the floor. There's going to be a foul by Hilke right there before he can cross half court.
Hilke running alongside Roland's hip there, trying to defend him, and just ends up bodying him there. And I want to say in the last play, Abbott, he just kind of stands out to me because he's so selfless. And I think a lot of players nowadays, especially in the NBA, just want to, take all the open shots, just be like what they see in the NBA. And he's definitely one of the few players on his team now that would rather pass than shoot.
We had a foul on the floor right there by Rice. It'll be his first, but I think that foul is now going to put Hazelwood at the line for the bonus.
Yeah, I was going to say they added that up there. So foul count right now is Hazelwood has fouled 7 times, Scribner 5. The score is 17-26 with Scribner in the lead. First free throw is up, and it's no good.
Again, I think there's been so many free throws already. It's only the first half, and I think I've seen 1 or 2 knocked down. Again, such an important concept of the game. Abbott getting that rebound is the second free throw is no good. Rice getting it down the court to Ketterer. Ketterer saving it, giving it to Hilke on the left wing for 3, no good. And it's rebounded by Sanders. Sanders just now crossing half court for the Bullpups, getting it to Wink. Wink will be on the left wing now. A handoff to Sanders. Sanders now to Roland. Roland on the left wing. Getting it to Hilke. Hilke on the right side of the floor, and he goes coast to coast right there. A good finish for him, 28-17, 11-point Scribner lead. Just 13 seconds left in this half. It'll be in Mitchell's hands now. Mitchell looking to go right all the way, and he will. Coast to coast for Mitchell as well. 3 seconds left in this half. Get it inbounds to Hilke. Hilke throwing it up from half court. Pretty short. 28-19 will conclude that first half of 7th grade boys basketball here at the Doghouse.
I get a feeling. I sat here at the end of the first quarter and said, well, I don't anticipate that we're going to see the starters sitting very much in the second quarter for Scribner, and then could not have been more wrong, because Coach Garman definitely was not impressed with their execution or their effort. Not sure which one. He's played pretty cool over there on the sideline, but definitely was not happy. We talked about, well, it's a little bit surprising because everybody thought it was going to be a pretty easy showing for Scribner. And unfortunately, you get in that situation where maybe Scribner thought it was going to be a really easy game for Scribner, and there was no hesitation on the part of Hazelwood to come out there and attack and be aggressive and, get into the lane against the taller defenders. And even when they got their shot blocked a couple times by Huggins in there, they just kept going in there attacking. So got to give a lot of credit there to the coaching staff for Hazelwood and Coach Poteet to keep them fired up and ready to go there. And now I suspect the Coach Garman and his staff, which Ernie Gum and Paul Hamilton, his 2 assistant coaches over there, probably going to go in there and have some words of encouragement, maybe some constructive criticism.
Probably that.
They're good guys. Coach Hamilton was an assistant coach here with the girls program when they won the state championship, 1999. Really, really good player back in 1988. I think he was the leading scorer here for the Bulldogs, playing for Coach Jim Miller. Coach Garman, a really nice player. Also for Coach Miller, about a year ahead of me in school. And then Coach Gum played, I think, right at the end of Coach Unruh and the start of Coach Shannon's era. So, all those guys were a part of good basketball coming up here. And I think that's one of the things I like about the composition of the coaching staff at Scribner in particular is we've gone through a down couple of years, back-to-back losing seasons, and trying to rebuild things. And it's kind of looked a little bit like it was right when Coach Unruh was leaving and Coach Shannon was about to come up, that we got a little dip going on here, but we know that everything's about to ramp back up. And you've got guys that were a part of a successful program, especially in that stretch from 1987 to about 1997, where a lot of years New Albany was a state championship contender. And if not, you knew that they were just a year away or maybe 2 years away from being in that sort of contention. And so those guys, having been through those experiences as players, they know what kind of pitfalls the current players have to be worrying about to try to get to that level when they're in high school a year or two from now. So, we're going to be graduating. Who's our seniors this year?
We have
Kirk is going to be going.
Red, Landon Kirk, and Ben Siegel.
So we got 3 spots open. The JV, I think, is 11-3. I think their record is the same as the varsities at this point, and we anticipate some of those guys are definitely going to be in a position to compete to work their way up. We'll have the 8th grade game coming up at the conclusion of this one. I think everybody expects Noah Washington to be coming in right away, if not moving into the starting lineup right away here. But some of these other guys are going to be making that transition to JV and then hopefully getting some varsity minutes next year. Same for the JV players that we do have. So 3 spots to fill, and who are going to be the people that understand what it is that Coach Jones and his staff are looking for at the varsity level. And I think it's so important. Coach talked about it when we interviewed him in the pregame show. There was one of the first things that he did was get together with the youth league coaches, the middle school coaches, the feeder programs, the people who are doing AAU in the community here, and saying, listen, these are our expectations of what these kids should be able to do at the varsity level, and hopefully what you all can teach them so the transition time is sped up when it's time for them to make that transition from Scribner up to high school. You all both played varsity as freshmen. And that's a big jump going from 8th grade competition to high school varsity competition when you don't have maybe a year at the freshman level or even a full year at the JV level to slowly get yourself acclimated. What do you think the biggest changes for you all were trying to go from 8th grade to varsity?
I mean, just straight off the jump. I mean, for boys, it's probably even bigger of a gap. Just, I mean, freshman year I was 14, and my competition is between the age of 14 to 18. So I'm playing against girls that have already had more experience than me, that are older than me, and better than me. And that's the same thing for guys as well, and especially because guys are bigger. I mean, the gap between a 14-year-old freshman and an 18-year-old senior is just huge physically wise. So, I mean, coming up younger, the game is going to be faster. Everybody is going to be stronger. You're going to be flying off, and that's all just basically because of how much more physical and how much faster the game gets when you add in these older and more experienced players as well.
I would say even without the experience factor, just the size alone is crazy, because if you're playing AAU ball, like travel ball, and you're transitioning from 8th grade to high school varsity level, you know, you've seen in AAU there's a lot of talent in there, and obviously you're used to good competition, but the size difference, like you mentioned, it was something that I definitely was not as prepared for as I thought I would be, and having to defend players who are much bigger, you know, just taller than me, that was extremely difficult. And it's something that, you know, playing up with older kids before you go into high school, or, you know, doing stuff like that, that's what helps you prepare. You know, you could practice all you want on your own, but if you're not out there practicing against bigger people, like even just defending, it's going to be difficult no matter what.
I mean, you talked about AAU basketball, which in itself is a totally different game than school basketball.
Oh, yeah.
You never know who you're going to play when you're showing up to an AAU game. You never know how the game's going to go, how fast it's going to be. School basketball and programs, I mean, high school basketball is completely different. You have time to prep for every single opponent. You get to do
absolutely.
the research. And that's something that in middle school I didn't do either. I didn't know that when you get to high school you're going to watch days worth of film on every opponent you're going to play. You're going to go over scouting reports. Your practices are centered around getting better, and then how you're going to play against this opponent. It's not just skill, it's not just playing basketball. You have to learn how to play each game differently as well at a high school level.
Looking at some stats real quick there in the first half, courtesy of Tyler Hubbard down here. Brody Hilke's got 9 points to lead Scribner. Studemeyer with 6 points in support for Hazelwood. Levi Sanders and Malachi Mitchell have got 6. Elick Wolf has got 5 here. We'll pass that back down to them, and we'll get all the complete stats with the rebounding and assist coming up in the post game. It is going to be Hazelwood ball to start the third quarter, and we'll send it back over to the young ladies.
Went dribbling the ball towards the left side, looking to push his players through. He'll throw it up to the top of the key to Wolf. Wolf looking at the top of the key to drive right. He goes up against Hamilton for a layup there. No good, but he will be sent to the free throw line as foul will be called in his favor.
I can't tell if we just keep, I don't know if it's lazy defense or just we keep calling everything. I don't know. There's just been so many fouls, and I don't know. I can't figure out why.
Yeah, we're not really keeping up with our bodies. We're trying to kind of like hold them back, and it's not for a lack of speed. It's just effort. Like, I'm sure that's something they talked about in the halftime.
It's like Scribner is letting Hazelwood get past them, and then they're wanting to go play defense after they've already been beat.
Carson Studemeyer getting the rebound off of that missed free throw. He will find Sloan on the left block. Then Carson will get it back on the right wing. He'll pull it for a 3 on that side. No good. Rebounded by Wolf. Wolf will get it to Wint. Wint looking to push it across half court now. Going more towards the right side. He'll pick up his dribble, be double teamed, try and throw it up top of the key. It'll get stolen by Hamilton. Hamilton will find Carson Studemeyer on the right lane, trailing. He'll get it to him. Carson will finish that shot. 20-30 now. Scribner up by 10. Hazelwood will look to pass it inbounds, and that inbounding pass will be stolen away clean by Carson Studemeyer, and he'll go up and finish that layup and be sent to the free throw line. Let's see if he can break the streak of us being unable to make these free throws.
Not only is Studemeyer the biggest guy on the floor right now because Huggins isn't out there, but I'd say when he has the ball in his hand, there's no doubt in his mind about what he's doing. He's settled, he's calm, and composed. Again, and that's a great thing to be able to have at such a young age, is composure.
We've got it on the left wing here in the hands of Mitchell. Mitchell will get it to Roland. Roland will kick it out to the top in Went's hands now. Went looking to push it right side. He'll be trapped, double teamed here, and Carson will come up. Carson will steal the ball, go up for his third layup in a row, and it's good. 20-34 now, 4 minutes and 23 seconds left to go. Roland will be inbounding the ball. Looking, and a 5-second call, a timeout will be called on Hazelwood's end.
34-20. Carson Studemeyer on his own on a 6-0 run coming out from that halftime break. Just 4 minutes and 18 seconds left on the third quarter clock.
Well, it was 14-11. Was that the first quarter score?
Yeah, 14-11. Hazelwood was up at the end of the first.
So 23-6 since then, and I think whatever questions we had about did the coaches get into the Scribner kids about maybe being a little bit passive out there and disorganized, they've gotten it after it defensively out here in the first 2 minutes of the second half. And Studemeyer, he hasn't knocked down any long jumpers or anything right now, but you see the smoothness when he attacks. He's got good body control when he goes up in the air. He knows how to absorb contact and finish. Just a really special prospect.
We've got it. Looks like Sanders trying to push the ball up the floor. He'll throw it right to the other team. Scribner will push the ball down and find Carson Studemeyer on the left block. Carson going up for his fourth shot of this quarter, and it's good. Hazelwood will look to push it up the floor. Once again, it'll be stolen and be finished this time by Mayfield. Hazelwood has it now, have yet to cross half court, and they'll find Went in order to do so. Went looking to drive left side, and he'll throw a nice bounce pass on the block to Wolf. Wolf throwing up a fake, getting his defender in the air, then going up for real, but unable to make that. Looks like Hamilton will get that rebound. He'll kick it to Mayfield. Mayfield looking to drive from corner to the paint and going up for a floater there. Will be blocked out of bounds and stay in the hands of Scribner. Oh, excuse me, it looks like they're going to call it out on Scribner this time. So Hazelwood ball now. Roland pushing the ball up the floor. He'll get it to Mitchell. Mitchell looks like they'll call it a block on Grady Mayfield, but
yeah, I don't know if that one was a block. We had Mitchell just going straight down the sideline. Mayfield already there and set, trying to trap him. He just kind of ran right into him. I mean, middle school refs, what King said.
That's not kind.
Roland getting the ball from the sideline pass here. He'll find Sanders cutting down the middle, trying to get that pass to him, but it'll be knocked out by Hamilton.
Hey, I wanted to, while we were talking about referees real quick on a serious note, we want to send our condolences to the family of Troy Mitchell, former head basketball coach at Clarksville High School, and had been a longtime referee at the elementary, middle school, and JV levels here. Passed away 2 days ago, and we did want to send along our condolences.
Studemeyer going up from a steal there. Going for the left layup, he'll be blatantly fouled. I'm not sure who that foul was on. It might have been on Sanders.
I mean, you see Studemeyer, trying to go through contact right there, but it wasn't necessary. He had two Scribner players to the right of him, right next to the basket. He had one defender on him. That really should have been just a quick pocket pass to the right side, and an assist would have been a finish right there. But, Studemeyer able to knock down the free throw, so it doesn't really quite matter. The 2 points still coming anyway, but I'm just saying it probably should have been just a one more pass right there.
Yeah, again, that whole selflessness thing, not very prominent in today's games. That second free throw will be no good. Roland will get it. He'll try and kick it to Wint, and that'll be stolen away. Stolen by Hilke. Hilke going all the way and finishing for a layup. 20-41 here. 2 minutes and 43 seconds left to go. Mitchell bring the ball up. Being guarded by Studemeyer. He'll almost get past him, and he'll pass it to Roland on the left wing. Roland takes 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Garmin. Garmin looking to throw an up-the-court pass to Studemeyer. I'm assuming it'll be kicked away or deflected away. Be loose on the floor. A jump ball will be called as both teams dive to gain possession of it. Looks like it'll come up in Scribner's hands.
A sub for Hazelwood right there. Towns coming in and Mitchell taking a rest.
Mayfield finding Rice down underneath the basket. And he'll get it to him. No good for that block shot. Wentz will come up with it now. Poor guy is being bullied by all these people.
I know, a triple team coming for him there. Rice, Hilke, and Garmin all over little old Went right there as he was trying to get.
Like we saw that during your game the other night, Sophia, where they were bringing 2 or 3 defenders. Somebody's got to rotate and help out the ball handler in that case. Somebody's, and probably a couple somebodies are open in that situation.
Roland has it now at the top of the key. He'll get it to Went on the right wing. Went looking to drive middle. He'll stop and pass it to Sanders. Sanders pulling up for a shot wide open, airballs it, and goes right out of bounds. Ketterer coming in now. Looks like he's stepping in for Garmin. 1 minute and 55 left to go in the third. Studemeyer bringing up the ball here for the Panthers. Looks like he's going to go all the way with ease. He gets past Sanders there, takes it all the way to the rim, and it's good. Went with the ball now, bringing it up the left side of the court. And here comes the double team. He'll kick it off to Wolf. Wolf will pass it off to Roland, who will then get it to Went. Went looking to drive down the right lane. I admire his courage trying to go for that layup there, but he will be stuffed out of bounds. It'll stay in Hazelwood's possession. But again, you said he reminds you of his father. I can see that now. He is not shying away from being aggressive here. Underneath the basket, the ball is in the hands of Crowder. He'll try and get it into Rollins.
His dad sent me a text, so the doctors say they're hoping to be 6'5", so.
You know what? I'll pray for him. The ball will be inbounded from underneath the basket.
Oh, good hustle.
By Roland there. It'll almost go out of bounds, but Roland will recover it. But then it'll get stolen away on the other hand. Ketterer has it. Ketterer throws it from block to block, or almost, I want to say, high post to block, from side to side to Studemeyer. Studemeyer finishing that once again. Went with it now. He will get it off to Crowder. Crowder on the right wing. Picks up his dribble here, looking for a handoff with Roland. Roland gets stopped by a hedge there, but he will end up getting it to Went. Went driving to the left side. Picks up his dribble, gets it off to Wolf. Wolf on the left wing now without a dribble. He'll get it to Crowder at the top of the key. Crowder looking to drive middle. Picks up his dribble far too early and is forced to go up for a floater there. No good. Rebounded by Goldman. Goldman handling the ball now. He'll get it to Ketterer. Ketterer looking to drive baseline, track his defenders, and he'll kick it off to
Rice.
To Rice. And then Rice will shot fake and drive and finish that bucket there. 47-20 with a little under 10 seconds left to go in the hands of Crowder now. Crowder will try and get it to Wolf. It'll get stolen away by Studemeyer. Studemeyer goes up for that last second shot along the left sidelines. Almost in there.
I suspect they would have waved it off. I think the whistle I heard as I'm watching the review here on the monitor, that he just stepped out of bounds. He let go. That's what the whistle was. So it would have been a great highlight if it went, but I think they would have waved it off as well. 47-20 is your score. What is the run that they are? I know it was 26-17 at the half, so it's at least a 21-3 run there. So this is more what we anticipated, and they are a bigger team than Hazelwood is. And we notice, I mean, it runs in sort of waves because we've had some teams that had some pretty good size. And then what is our freshman group this year at the high school? When they were in middle school, like if you looked at Katie's class of guys, we had some guys that were 6'2", 6'3", had some bulk to them, and then it drops down to a bunch of guards. And so you never know exactly what you're going to get in that regard. And Hazelwood's just a lot smaller physically than Scribner is this year.
Townsend with the ball at the top of the key. He tries to pass it off to a guard, stolen away by Studemeyer. Studemeyer taking it all the way to the basket, finishing that layup there to start off the fourth. Bringing the ball up now, we have it in the hands of Neil Johnson. Neil will get it to the left corner to Townsend. Townsend will take it more towards the middle instead of the baseline, looking to drive that direction, and he'll be fouled there on the floor. Ball will be taken out underneath the basket here. Inbounded to Sharp. Sharp will pass it to Neil Johnson at the top of the key. He'll drive, take a shot there. No good. Rebounded by Huggins. Huggins will push up the floor. Ketterer has it now. Left block. Goes up and is fouled. I just got scooted away in the middle of talking. I apologize if I stuttered there.
So I apologize. I looked into the monitor here and was like, oh, Sophia's head is suddenly in the frame. So I need to just shift both of you about 6 inches to the right to avoid some embarrassment there.
Ketterer will inbound it to Goldman, and Goldman will pull up for a shot. No good. Rebounded by Studemeyer. Studemeyer.
Is that a pass?
Yeah, Studemeyer jumping up there, almost looking like he's going to take a shot, and he'll do a little dump down to Huggins there. Huggins finishing that shot. The Panthers are now leading by 21. 5 minutes and 8 seconds left to go. Foul count is 1-1. Hazelwood will turn the ball over.
So that, by the way, does answer your question. They are resetting the fouls like they would at the high school level.
Well, I was just asking if after 5 fouls, if they were going to.
Yeah, I think they just forgot down there, and we're putting that 6th foul up on the board.
On the right corner, Coach taking that 3-point shot, and it's good, and the crowd goes wild. Now for the Bullpups here, Sharp has it, looking to drive from the right wing, no good. He'll get it to Townsend. Townsend working the ball down low. Oh, he gets it. Oh. He took it there. Good handles for Townsend. Made it all the way down to the block. The shot was just a little bit hard. And then on the opposite end, coming up, looks like Scribner will get the ball knocked out of bounds in transition.
A nice spin move there.
Yeah. And they're taking it out underneath the basket now in the hands of Ketterer. Ketterer will find a open Huggins on the left wing. Once again, unable to just be strong with it, really. It gets stolen away, brought up the floor, and then they'll call a kickball on Huggins there. Yeah. So Hazelwood will take it out underneath.
I might be the husband of a Scribner teacher and the father of 2 Scribner kids, but I went to Hazelwood, so rooting for the Bullpups to get back into this one here.
Townsend getting the ball out of bounds. Here it almost gets kicked out of bounds once again by Thomas. Thomas able to recover that, though. He'll get it off to Sharp. Sharp pulling up for a shot on the right wing, and expectedly there, Huggins will come up and just block it easily. He'll get it to Carson in transition. Carson not rushing it or anything, just easily able to step into his 3-point shot, and it goes. Now for the Bullpups, we have Thomas on the corner. Thomas will find it up at the top of the key to Chambers. Chambers taking a shot, blocked once more by Huggins.
I mean, that is just too easy for him.
Absolutely.
He literally just has to put his hand up.
Stand. That's all he does.
Yeah, he stands and puts his hand up, and nothing is going over him.
No, absolutely.
But again, he understands the step that he can give back to play against the drive because he knows that he can recover on that. But by the same token, we talked about in the pregame, he gets his block shots without chopping down, and you get so many players that see the highlight reel block shots and people swatting into the 5th row, and that's where you're going to pick up your. I mean, you did not the other night when you got your block shot in the lane. You stayed vertical on that. Yeah, you go ahead and flex. That's all right. But that's the big thing. If you'll stay vertical and just go at it with a flick of the wrist
tap,
instead of chopping down like you're going after a tree, you're going to get away with not picking up those foul issues, and that's one thing that Huggins does not get into foul difficulty.
Neil Johnson taking it up for the Bullpups, getting a little out of control on the drive there, picking it up and getting it out to Thomas. Thomas looking to put up a shot in the paint. No good, rebounded by Ketterer. Ketterer coming up the floor a little out of control. Will be knocked out of bounds by Sharp. Here now they're taking it out on the sidelines, the Panthers. In the hands of Coach here. Coach will pass it in to Ketterer. Ketterer way off base there trying to take an open shot as a
Good
three. As a three, and it'll bounce off the top of the backboard. Taken away by Hazelwood here. Sharp has it now in the left corner. He'll try and throw it down low to Thomas. Thomas, it'll look like Huggins will try and reach over to try and steal that pass, and they'll call a foul on him.
And that's one thing you don't need to do if you're Aiden is you're already behind, but if they turn and try to score, you've got a height advantage and a wingspan advantage there. Just go ahead and play behind that point. You don't have to gamble for the steal.
Thomas finishing a shot on the out-of-bounds play there. Bringing the ball up now for the Panthers, we have Coach. Coach will take it all the way down the lane and finish a layup there right side, and it's good. 61-22. Scribner still in the lead with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Sharp splitting his defenders there. Loses it completely. Looks like they will recover it and kick it out to the right wing in Townsend's possession there, and then he will get it off to, he'll get it stolen by Coach there. Coach will be fouled, or I don't know. I think it got hit out of bounds by Sharp there, so it'll stay Scribner ball. Coach has it at the top of the key, loses it almost. Abba recovers it. He'll swing it right to Jenkins. Jenkins to the high post to Coach. Coach pulling up for that shot a little bit, a few feet inside of the free throw line there, and makes that. Townsend with the ball right now, driving middle, going up for a little scoop shot there, and it's good.
There you go. He's got a couple of really nimble post moves inside.
He's got some moves in his bag.
Yeah, he has good moves. Just need to work on that finish, but able to finish right there nicely.
Oh, Abbott looking to copy that move there. That's an underhand shot, hard off the backboard there, rebounded by Thomas. Thomas picking his dribble up at the top of the key. Will be swung from guard to guard down to Neil Johnson. Neil Johnson open for a lane there, going up for a left-handed layup, right side layup, and it's good. Coach here passing it to Jenkins. Jenkins pulling up for a deep three, a little bit hard off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Neil Johnson. Neil pushing it up the floor to Sharp. Sharp will get the ball stripped away by Jenkins. Jenkins pushing it up the floor to Elliott Jackson. Elliott slowing the ball down and then picking up his dribble because of Sharp's handsy defense there. Abbott getting a pass from him and kicking it down to the corner to Coach. Coach shooting a three from the corner, no good. Rebounded by Neil Johnson. Neil Johnson going all the way up against Jackson. He goes up for a layup, rolls around the rim, not quite, but he will be sent to the free throw line here. Honestly, at this point, there's really not much you can do. If you're Hazelwood, you're down over 20 points, 30 actually. But the best thing you can do is what they're doing right now, and that's still being aggressive, still taking it to the rim. And Scribner just needs to not foul, because right now all they're doing is slowing the game down and giving them more opportunities to score, as Neil Johnson will do right now with his first free throw.
I know how Hazelwood feels. When I played in this game back in the day, Scribner had 3 future D1 players on the roster. We did not so much over at Hazelwood, so I feel their pain.
That free throw is no good. Coach has it now. Coach playing with it. Gets it to the corner, then right back in his hands, back down to the corner to Eisenberg. Eisenberg pulling it for a corner three, no good, but those are difficult shots to make. Thomas coming up with it for Hazelwood. He'll get it to Sharp. Sharp looking to drive down the middle. He'll pull up for a jumper. Airball there, rebounded by Neil Johnson. Neil Johnson taking the last shot.
I say count it. That's a great spin move there.
Count that basket. That was fantastic spin.
He's got a big smile on his face on that one.
Final score, Scribner 63, and Hazelwood 27.
Wink for the Bullpups.
Oh,
Wint.
I love
Wint.
him.
Oh my God! Why do I keep saying?
I don't know. Yeah,
Wint.
I am
Wink.
making you do manual labor in class tomorrow.
Yeah,
for
I
that
deserve it. Wint. Sorry.
Shout out to Wink.
Wint. This little dude. I might be his new biggest fan. I'm sorry, but he is just adorable.
adorable.
And he is so aggressive with the ball too. And he's fast.
He's very fast.
He's speedy. Like one dribble and a little hezzy, and he was to the rim every single
He
time.
is-
Not scared to get blocked either.
If you want, because I didn't mention this, if you want the family genealogy, his uncle is Tucker Biven.
oh.
Or cousin, I guess.
Okay.
So
There we go.
sense.
He's got basketball blood.
so his dad is brothers with Tucker's mom. So first cousins there, and they have phenomenal athleticism
Yes,
in the whole
absolutely.
family. Both his dad and his uncle played college baseball. Both played basketball, varsity basketball here at New Albany, and you can see, man, that he's been around a sports family, and they just don't have any fear. You just go out there and play. So we are waiting for Hubs to get the stats totaled up there. If one of you want to grab those, we can look over that. I heard that maybe Matt Dennison might be up. I also heard that potentially Coach Garman was going to bring Carson Studemeyer. So we're going to have an interview here in between the ball games. I want to thank my thank yous now before we start swapping out crews here. Sophia and Katie, obviously, for play-by-play and color commentary. Tyler Hubbard was keeping stats for us. My tech guys who were not able to be here at the beginning, so we apologize for some of the glitches we had getting on initially. But Nate Samsel and Gage Schmidt, as always, also Ellie Dablo, providing most of the video for you today. If we had any issues with the wrong camera angle being shown, that was me, so I'll take one for the team there. This is the first time we've done a game like this basketball season, so first time you go through it, we're going to be working some kinks out. Our hope is we'll be able to do the same thing over at Scribner during the the Floyd County Elementary Championships coming up here in a few weeks. So giving it a test run here at the Doghouse tonight. Do we have...
Looks like Hubs is still adding
Hub's
up.
still doing
so-
higher math over here.
So while he does that, I'm gonna also say I pointed out Wint for the Bullpups, and now I'm gonna say my surprise from the 7th grade Panthers, Hilke. I did not.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know. I had never seen Hilke before just now, and he was a very consistent player from start to finish. He didn't come in until the second rotation for the Panthers, but I'd say him and Garmin pretty much leading that second rotation for the Panthers. And also, you got to give Ellie Dablo back here, cousins with Trevor Garmin, who just went out there, knocked down 2 or 3 threes.
I was worried about when he starts heating up from the outside that she's going to get really erratic with the camera movements, jump up and down and knock it right over the side of the catwalk. So.
Garmin also, a fantastic basketball player, a pretty good shot for him for how small he is, and also a killer soccer player as well. I've been watching Trevor play soccer since he was very, very, very little, and has always been amazing and great at this sport as well. Scribner taking the floor for warmups now, the 8th grade team, still waiting on Hub statistics.
Want to give a shout out to our listeners that are tuning in. We've got this on the FM station, obviously, tonight, streaming on WNAS.org. And to anybody that's checking in on the YouTube channel, we thank you all for doing so tonight. And to Maddie Fisher up at the University of Indianapolis, who is checking in. She was very complimentary of Katie and Sophia for their broadcast. She did football for us back in the day, and now is in the communications, the television program up at the University of Indianapolis right now. I think actually you all probably met her up at one of the workshops that we have done there, and she's going to have to give me an update. I know she's got internships lined up with one of the major television stations in Indianapolis, so good to see alums of the WNAS program going on and having success.
We've got the statistics, folks.
All right, we're going to go ahead and...
I'll run us through some Panther statistics right now. We had our leading scorer, of course, Studemeyer. He had 27 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Next up, we had Hilke with 11. Following that was Coach with 7. And then Garmin and Mayfield contributing 3, along with Huggins having 4 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists.
And for the Hazelwood Bullpups here, we had Sharp finishing with 7 points, went with 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. Mitchell with 6 points and 2 rebounds. Neil Johnson with 3 points and 3 rebounds. Roland with 2 assists and 2 rebounds and 1 assist. Crowder with 1 rebound. Wolf with 6 points and 6 rebounds. Thomas with 2 points, 3 rebounds. Sanders with 4 points and 1 rebound. And Townsend with 2 points and 1 rebound. In total, 29 points, 24 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Yeah, so the final score of that game, 66 to... Was that 27?
I think so.
I can't read.
Or 29.
Yeah,
One of
it's
the
either
two.
27 or 29. I can't. Actually, we'll say 29 because we did say that spin move counted
It did.
at the
Yes,
end there.
we're
So,
absolutely counting that.
yeah, it was final score 66 to 29.
Well, we thought we were going to go straight into the 8th grade game, that we'd have about a 10-minute warm-up and then jump right into it. That is not going to be the case here, as we have got basically 8th grade senior night, for lack of a better word, and they are introducing all of the members of the 8th grade Hazelwood Bullpups basketball team, as the players and their parents are coming out here to half court. We will be going through this with the girls basketball team tomorrow night, correct? Sophia is going to give me a head now. We're having senior night for the girls team, and they are going to be playing here at home against Seymour in the final regular season ball game. So we'll let Carson jump over. I'm taking your daughter home. Okay, thank you very much for the update. Coach Garman has come up, and we can get both of you on there if you want to. Y'all want to slip those on, and hopefully you all should be able to hear us at this point. And Garmin, we got on here and talked about what a great offensive player you were back in the day for New Albany High School. We're going to turn it back this direction. They decided they're going to put you on television for this one there. So, because we're talking about the coaching staff and the fact that, you know, we've gone through a little bit of a dip at the varsity level the last couple of years, but always knew that it's New Albany. There's going to be a bump back up, and we always have the expectations of, you know, potential championships down the line. And Coach Hamilton, Coach Gum, yourself played here back in the 1990s when that was sort of an expectation. And so my question to you starting off is, having been through this as a player and know what it takes to play at the varsity level on a high-level team in the state of Indiana, what is it you all are doing as coaches to try to work with this team, and also in conjunction with the high school coaching staff, to try to make sure when your players go on to the high school level, they're ready to contribute the best they can right away?
Well, I think, you know, obviously the tradition of New Albany basketball is second to none. I mean, you know, growing up a Bulldog, you know, playing for the Bulldogs was obviously a dream for me, and just happy to be a part of the program in a small way. You know, the middle school program at Scribner and Hazelwood is probably leaps and bounds beyond other programs in the state, but just to answer your question, I mean, it's so exciting to see so many young guys like this guy next to me. It's just the future's so bright for New Albany. And, you know, as far as what we've done, you know, Coach Jones in his first year has been instrumental in that. He comes down, you know, works with the kids, sees the kids preseason before, you know, before the season even starts. And he's just done a great job. Coach Shannon did a great job. Coach Miller, who I played for, did a great job. So we're just excited about the future. And, you know, Coach Mayfield has coached these guys in feeder ball for 5 years now, and he deserves a lot of the credit. Brian's done a heck of a job, and I just kind of manage. I don't coach much. I just kind of manage.
I'll ask you another question before we turn it over to Carson here. Came out of the gate, and Hazelwood in that first quarter, I think, really surprised us with how aggressive they were. They were attacking Mitchell and Rowland, and did not seem phased early on by the defensive pressure. And they were kind of fearless going into the lane there and trying to challenge you. You swapped out 5 for 5, and you looked like you were pretty comfortable going with that bench and letting them come in there and try to turn things around. What was it you liked out of your second unit there, and then what did you talk to your starters about before they came back in about how we wanted to see that second half unfold?
I got to be honest, I was a lot happier with my third unit than I was my second unit. I think my second unit only had 1-3, so I wasn't as excited about them. But we've got 15 kids. They all give it their all every single day. And what we wanted to do in the first half, I talked to Coach Hamilton, and we said we want these kids to play in prime time. I mean, this is an unbelievable crowd for a Pregame. I mean, it really is. And we wanted those kids to feel like they were in the game when it mattered, not the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And we were able to do that. The third string we brought in there, third 5 was instrumental. Brought a lot of energy and gave us a lead at halftime. And then the second half, we just kind of went back to what we normally do, normal rotations. And Carson got hot, and he's a special player. I'm fortunate to coach him, that's for sure. A lot easier when you got number 32 next to him.
We all do wind up being better coaches when we have better players to work with, I have found over the years.
That's for sure.
So turn it over to Carson here. Carson, assuming that Tyler Hubbard had his statistics correct there in that game, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a handful of steals out there. You know the Hazelwood kids from having played against them in elementary and the last couple of years, probably on those feeder programs where you all combine up. My question is, do you get more fired up playing against the guys that you know here, or maybe a little bit more so when you're playing against the teams that feed into Jeffersonville and Floyd Central?
Playing against the kids in Jeff and Floyd.
Okay. What about playing in front of a crowd like this? I can't remember if we've been over here and had these events. If we have done it in the past, I don't think it's to the degree that we have had. What's that feel like when you walk out on that court and you look around and we got maybe 1,500 people out here for a 7th grade game? And like Coach says, that's not the norm when you're looking at other schools in the area or around the state.
It's just fun, for real. I didn't really think there would be this many people here.
Because of the success that you all have had, remind me, have you all won the Clark Floyd Championship each of the past 2 years? And the 8th grade group I know has had that. New Albany fans are always worried about 2 things: how the team's doing now and what the potential is for down the line. As you have played with these guys, and I know you all probably practiced with them over there during the school year, what are your all's thoughts about when you finally get Hazelwood and Scribner together, the 8th graders and 7th graders together, as far as the potential of what we could do with your all's group or the group of guys that we have, and maybe not even just what we have here, but also coming up behind you?
With the group we have, I think we can go far in high school.
Okay. Are there any players? I mean, obviously, a lot of people have got the attention on you, on Noah. We had a chance to see some guys step up. The Wink kid played really well tonight for them. You all had one of your kids come off the bench, and I don't have the roster in front of me now. I think it was Hilke came in and did really well in there. But who are some of the guys that, if you were telling fans that didn't have a chance to be here and watch tonight, some of the guys coming up that they should be looking forward to, and not just the ones that all the attention's already on at this point?
Like our whole starting 5, like Brody, Davin, Trevor, Grady, and all them, they're going to be tough.
Okay. Let me ask.
I think, Brian, if I could just interject on what Carson said there, you know, the best thing about this team, and you know, Brian Mayfield, Cody Jenkins, and Paul Hamilton probably work with them as much as anybody. The best thing about this team is they don't care who's scoring, and they're unselfish. They just want to win, and I think that, you know, that's a credit to coaching, but it's also a credit to these kids. They don't care. They don't look at the stat sheets. They don't know how many points they had.
Yeah.
And you know, we had a kid tonight, Colin Cook, who has had a broken finger until tonight. He was our last player that hadn't scored this year. He came off the bench and got 7 points, and you saw how excited those other 14 kids were for him. And that's what we're about. We're all about team, and I think that's what makes this group so special and so fun. Is they don't have a ton of swagger. They just go out and get the job done. And when you got somebody like Carson leading the charge, The other pieces just have to know their role, and I think that's what makes this team so special is they've all accepted that role. They know what they can do. They know their limitations, and I think that's what's most exciting.
When we had our last true state championship contenders, you were probably early elementary school at that point. So my question is, it might be a lot asking to think back to when you were 6, 7 years old, but were you here to watch any of those games during the Romeo Langford and Sean East years and be able to be here when we had the packed houses and the long lines to get in here and all the media attention and college coaches? And is that something, if you did see that has motivated you to, hey, one day if I work hard enough and keep improving, that could be us out there having that same sort of attention there?
Yeah. When we get to high school, I hope we win state.
One other thing, if we got people that are hoops fans, people knew, and we posted on some web pages tonight that we were going to have these games, so people from around Indiana could check in. Maybe we even get some college coaches watching this tonight. I assume it's not just school ball and feeder system, but you're playing AAU. If you could tell us what organization you're with and where some of the tournaments are that you all play at, and once you get into the spring and summer and playing with other people outside of just New Albany.
This year I'm playing with Indiana Elite, and most of our tournaments are in Indy. Sometimes we go to like Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky sometimes.
All right. Well, Coach Carson, I want to thank you all for coming up here tonight. Again, Carson, 27 points, and I believe the final score was somewhere around, I don't know, they had it written down. I think it was about 65 to 27 there, so outstanding job for Scribner there in the last 3 quarters. When's the tournament coming up here?
So we have one game, or no, I'm sorry, we have 4 games next week. We kind of go NBA schedule. We get games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we're off for a week until we play Silver Creek, which is the following Thursday. And if we win that, we play the Tuesday after, and then the championship will be the Thursday. So it goes Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday. Not sure the exact dates, but and I also want to congratulate Coach Poteet. Coach Poteet does a great job with Hazelwood. He really does. Class act, and we're fortunate to have him in the program. Obviously they didn't have as much talent as we did, but they came out and played hard, and I was proud of their how much fight they gave us. So just proud of him as well.
I mean, it's one of those things. In the moment you're playing, and it is a rivalry game. But the one thing we always tried when I was coaching over at Scribner, remind them that, hey, you're on opposite sides right now, but eventually, here in just a couple of years, y'all are going to be teammates, and we're all going to be moving for the same objectives and trying to pack this place and get championships. So, I saw at times on the free throw line people joking with each other and talking and looked like they were having fun regardless of what the margin was there. So, best of luck to you all in the Clark Floyd tournament, and we're looking forward to doing this again next year.
All right, Brian, we appreciate WNAS and appreciate you guys being here tonight, because I know the kids were really excited, and I know there's a lot of – my parents are in Florida, so hello to Mom and Dad down in Florida. Glad you guys got to watch tonight. So we appreciate you doing it, Brian. Thanks so much.
Y'all can go home afterwards and watch the replay of the game. It'll be posted by the time you get back home tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Coach Sean Garman and Carson Studemeyer here on the Bulldog postgame report as Scribner's 7th grade boys coming away with the victory here tonight. And now we're about 3 minutes away from the 8th grade game. And Scribner off to our right here, Hazelwood to our left in warm-ups. And I'm going to ask real quick, are you going to be able to talk now, talk afterwards? All right. Let me, Hubs, let me get Coach Dennison on here real quick. We'll burn out the last 2.5 minutes because I know he's a busy man, and I asked if he could stick around and we could do an interview with him in the post game after the 8th game, and 8th grade game. You're not going to be able to. So what I did want to talk to you about, Coach Dennison, is not only are we had the 7th and 8th grade Hazelwood and Scribner girls on WNAS a couple weeks ago. We're doing the boys game on the YouTube channel, but the feeder system is more than just the middle schools. I mean, one of the things that you have done that I've been very appreciative of is bringing back 3rd and 4th grade basketball in the community, and we're in the midst of doing that right now on Saturdays, correct?
Correct.
And so where are we at in the course of the season? And then you and I can probably hammer out right now if we're going to be doing something like this for your tournament coming up.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. First, Mr. Sullivan, thank you for organizing your classroom to be here tonight. no place else in the state of Indiana is going to have interest like this for a middle school game.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
There's some outstanding talent in this gym tonight. The future of New Albany is bright, and it's just extra special that you guys can broadcast this. There'll be a lot of people live or recorded that want to check this out. So kudos for all the after-hours things that you do that I don't know people always realize how much time you put in. I want to say that first. Secondly, elementary basketball is a program of Floyd County Parks and Recreation. We started it 10 years ago with Roger Jeffers as the superintendent. A little bit unexpectedly, I became the park superintendent about a year ago. And so we want to enhance that program, obviously, with me being there full-time now. But that said, we're in week 4. All 9 elementary schools have one team comprised of 3rd and 4th grade students, the very best 10, 11, 12 kids from their school. There's one girls team, one boys team, and we'll get ready for the big Floyd County Championships coming up February 3rd and 4th, a single elimination bracket. It starts on Saturday. We whittle down to the semifinals, which are on Sunday. Championship games on Sunday. Hopefully you'll be there to broadcast, record, and so forth.
Yep.
And then on Sunday night, we have some all-star games. We put Floyd Central kids, future Highlanders, against future New Albany Bulldogs, and that's a lot of fun to wrap up the season. So that's where we're at. I know your game here is getting ready to begin, but look forward to having that on WNAS. And just like tonight, but more so tonight, you get all these season ticket holders, these older fans that come out. We'll have a few that want to come to the elementary as well. Not as many, but it'll be a packed house at Scribner on February 3rd and 4th.
It's a fantastic event if you haven't been out there.
It's a fun deal. So thanks for the opportunity to briefly chat about it. And again, thanks for all you've done to help us with elementary basketball.
Let me ask you real quick before we go to the starting lineups. You had a lot of these kids at the elementary level. When you look back 3 or 4 years ago when these kids were 3rd and 4th graders, did you have a sense of the potential of where we're at with the 7th and 8th grade groups right now?
Yeah, no question. You hate to get too crazy about 3rd and 4th grade students, but sometimes you can just tell. And the good news for New Albany fans is there's more young ones coming up. Some of them will materialize. Some of them may go to another sport, but the future is bright. So.
All right, Matt Dennison, join us here.
Thank you, Brian.
I will be in touch with you. We're going to turn it over to Caden and Tyler, our normal broadcasters on the girls' basketball games here, and we're going to jump right into the action.
The Hazelwood ball as they dribble it off their foot. That was Brandon Gonigan. Go back to Scribner. We saw the attempted lob for Noah Washington there by Owen Gum. Just got a little too ahead of themselves. Talked to Owen's brother, Landon. He says that's what they like to do. As Owen drives, going to get blocked out of bounds.
We got somebody keeping stats for us down. All right, Gavin's going to be on top. We got a whole new crew that we're breaking in here, and with the interviews we had on there. Oh my.
Washington catches a body off the inbound.
That's what all these people are here to see coming out of the 8th grade phenom, Noah Washington.
Scribner set up in kind of a press. Now back off. Going to get a half-court, backcourt violation.
And Scribner's not going to stop this game. We saw it during the 7th grade, and you all saw it as well with Sophia and Katie on the mic. It's just Scribner's going to pile on the points as they go up, and they're a great team, so you could expect the scores to rack up with this team that they have this year.
There's Gum, kicks to Washington. Washington right side three won't go. Offensive rebound, Gum. Gum puts it back up. No, Washington there and gets the roll.
No, Washington just overpowering. Same play on that inbound. Jumps over the Hazelwood jerseys and gets the offensive rebound. And Scribner's off to a 4-0 lead. We'll get a foul on Braden Dennison on a push. And Hazelwood retain possession.
Noah using the length up near half court. Just getting a count. We're going to get a
can't wear your chain.
Inverted whistle.
Can look good on the court, but now with the excessive jewelry, you can wear the accessories, all the leg sleeves, the cool shoes, undershirts, but jewelry's where it'll stop you. Hazelwood will inbound the ball again.
Going to have Noah up top, just trying to get a hand on anything. That's Kyron Johnson's going to come, and Caleb Thomas splits the defense, can't get it to fall. Rebound Crone. Crone gets it out to Washington. Look out!
It's going to be a show tonight. Noah Washington just 2 minutes into the game, not even. 2 Showtime highlights for him.
We're going to get Jonah Martin coming into the ball game for Brandon Dennison. So Dennison will check out with that foul. As Hazelwood will start the ball. Here's Jefferson. Jefferson gets stolen. Washington again. Windmill.
It's just going to be a party up here for us and you all on the camera. Noah Washington got to play a lazy defense, but with the athleticism that he has, able to get it easily and takes it down.
Has 8 of 8 points for the Panthers.
Yeah, he'll continue to pile up. I wouldn't expect them to take him out till later in the game. The crowd's here, and that's what they're here for. Got a lot of cameramen in the stands and just throughout the building.
Yeah, and this is what Scribner wants to do. They want to get out in transition and get passes. We see Noah playing up at half court, which is why he uses his length. And they don't give up anything inside with the length of Brandon Dennison. And then Jonah Martin also coming into the game. They really don't have a mismatch down low because of how tall Martin.
I don't even believe Hazelwood's taking it inside the arc yet with Noah Washington up top and just the general defense that Scribner has. A lot of athleticism. Kyron Johnson and Owen Gump, some smaller names that you don't hear with Noah Washington on the team, but they'll both bring some game. It'll just be a fun thing to watch tonight.
We saw a huge turnover difference in the 7th grade game. 27-4 was the turnovers in that game. And it's looking to be the same way here in the 8th grade game. As Connington gets it stolen. Gum out to Washington.
Nobody in the way.
3 dunks for Noah already with 3:37 to go. Hazelwood gets past the defense. Larry Jefferson down low, blocked by Washington. Offensive rebound. It's Caleb Thomas. He's going to get fouled. He'll go to the line to give Hazelwood their first chance to get on the scoreboard.
With these younger players, you tend to see some missed free throws. We saw it a lot in the 7th grade game, but it's just some tendencies. It's not the thing that you work on a lot in practice. Caleb Thomas knocks down his first, giving Hazelwood their first point, breaking that 10-0 run that Scribner started off this game with.
Thomas knocks down his second. Now Hazelwood's going to try to set up. Now they'll move back. Corbin Crone. We'll get it to Gum inside to Washington. Washington, first try won't go. Second one will. Using his height over the defense. It's unfair.
Yeah, you'd expect a little leniency on the over the back fouls, but there hasn't been any called yet. So Hazelwood throws it away. Jonah Martin barely collects it.
Martin gets it down low to Washington. To Crone, back up top. Martin, straightaway 3 won't go. Offensive rebound by Johnson. Swing pass. Crone to try another shot. Won't fall. George Cannon the other way. Nice finish.
Lousy defense by Washington, but he's able to excel on the other end with 12 of 12 points still. No other Panther to score yet in this contest, and he'll get another try inside.
Washington left elbow goes off the noggin of Owen Gum.
Be a timeout by Coach Cadle for the Panthers.
30-second timeout. So Hazelwood will have the ball, 12-4. Just under 2.5 to go. Like I said, Noah Washington has all 12 points, and they're just allowing him to get the ball inside of that 2-3 zone.
Yeah, you see Scribner on the other end set up in that 1-3-1. It's allowing Noah Washington to get these leak-out dunks, but with this money, it's almost like a cash grab. You get all these people here to watch them. It's a bigger gymnasium than what you get at just the normal middle school level. And he's taking that to advantage.
A good turnout here.
A lot of
the middle school games.
A lot of names in the crowd. You got Josh Rogers, New Albany alumni, played in the MLB.
Got retired coach from Hazelwood, Coach Stubbins, with his firefighter assistant coach.
Hazelwood working. Malachi Miller on the left wing. Gets it up top to Parnell. He throws it away. Looking back for Miller. Go back to Scribner. Here's Owen Gum. Gum left side Johnson. Swing pass corner Martin. Martin will drive baseline. Maneuvering the defense. Tipped away. But Dennison's there to clean it up. And he'll get fouled.
We saw in warm-ups, Dennison can also rise up there a little bit. So if there's a little time for him, it's another good look for Scribner. Just spikes the crowd up a little bit more. We got a 5-man rotation, it looks like, on the scores table for the Bullpups.
Dennison misses his first. Has a full new 5 for Hazelwood. It's going to come in. Lucas Parnell. Forte. Caleb Jenkins among the 5 as Dennison misses, but an offensive rebound by Stanisford. And he's going to try a corner 3. That one's short. Rebound on the ground, picked up by Hazelwood. Here comes Forte the other way. Forte runs into Gum. And we're going to need a foul, I believe, on Owen.
Look at Scribner's offense, and you see Washington with all 12, but all these other Panthers that are taking their shots, it's just seeming to not fall. So kind of seems with Washington with the high hand, just keep feeding them.
Jermaine Simmons loses the ball out of bounds. Could have been tipped off by a Panther. The refs didn't see it. Here comes Johnson the other way. Johnson kicks in the corner to Stanisford. Down low to Dennison. Dennison turn around. Jump shot won't go. Offensive rebound Stanisford. Corner Washington knocks down a triple.
15 on the score charts and the scoreboard for the Panthers and Washington. It's a one-man show here. Dennison will get called for a foul. As Jermaine Simmons was trying to push the ball up the court.
It's going to be Dennison's second. And they'll go to the bench as that was the 5th foul of the quarter. So it should be free throws as they are lining up.
You know, I haven't been to a middle school game in a few years, and I didn't know that they had the same exact rules that high school applies now with that new 5-foul bonus rule.
Be Jermaine Simmons at the line. Shooting free throws. You can see Noah in the backcourt just trying to get a leak out. Just past the defense. Nobody paying attention to him, and he knows it.
You got Lucas Parnell just standing volleyball line on the other side. Coaches don't even seem to be noticing.
Simmons missed both of them. Gets it up to Kyron. To Gum. Gum will take it all the way and one.
See Washington on that drive, kind of point up in the air to Gum, looking for that lob. Would have been a great highlight, but I don't believe that there was a chance that he would have caught that with Parnell guarding so closely.
Normally the first rule in basketball is what you learn is to stop the ball. But that time with Noah Washington on the other end of what was a potential lob, Lucas Parnell made a business decision.
You also get the first basket from a Panther other than Noah Washington coming from Owen Gum there on the 2 and 1.
It's going to be a turnover off the inbound for Hazelwood. As Gum gets it into Stanisford, gets it tipped away by Simmons. And we're going to get another whistle.
Something fell on the court, it seems. Can't really tell what it is. Some paper, maybe. 18-4, though. So just a blowout here for Scribner in this first quarter. It was a kind of a tight game there in the first and second quarter of that 7th grade game where Carson Studemeyer kind of sat out towards the end of that first quarter. He came back into that second half and just dominated.
Hazelwood's going to get it up using Caleb Jenkins. Jenkins deep in the left side, gets it down low to Weathers. Weathers kicks in the corner. Parnell 3 is way off, but an offensive rebound by Forte to keep it alive. Then he throws it away. Washington in coverage, throws it down.
Noah Washington able to bring the hype.
Noah
that he
Washington
always
with
brings.
17 points in the first quarter. It's not even the end of the first quarter, and he already has well over double digits.
Simmons weaving through the defenders, but throws it out of bounds, looking up to Parnell.
Like we said after the 7th grade game, turnovers were a big factor in the 7th grade game and so far in the 8th grade game.
Noah Washington, you keep up with him on social media. He tends to drop the higher number games on the scoring charts. 46, one of the ones you could mention. And it just seems, you know, it shows right now. 17 in the first quarter, it's just unbelievable.
I'm looking for an 80-point game tonight by Noah Washington. I mean, that would be something, 80 points in a 6-minute quarter game.
Washington can't get the high bounce to fall. 20-4, 10 seconds left in this first quarter. As Washington gets another steal on the fast break, Parnell with him, but he finishes over him easily. As Hazelwood have 5 seconds, but they're just going to elect to not push it out. As Scribner up to a 22-4 lead.
19 coming from Noah. It really is crazy.
Only one other person to score in the whole first quarter for the Panthers, and Owen Gum with a 2 and 1.
Well, this is my first chance to see Noah Washington play, and, you know, I'm not impressed, but it's insane to watch a 8th grader put up these numbers.
Like you said, through the highlight tapes in the Twitter feed, you can see what Washington brings to the table. And he's certainly doing that. If you put him at top of the zone, he gets a lot of breakaways, which is what, you know, New Albany is trying to do with Chris Lampkins, could say. And
there's not really the disciplinary pass accuracy at this younger age, and with the wingspan that Noah Washington has at the top of that zone, he's able to come up with the steals and put up the numbers that he does and get those highlights on that fast break, because he's going to take a jog to the hallway. No clue where he's going right now, but we'll see the Scribner offense without him. Owen Gum, we mentioned plenty of times, is the only other Panther to score without Noah. So going into the second quarter, a 22-4 lead for Scribner, and what seemed just to be a Noah Washington show here, and it's kind of what we all expected.
Washington slots right into this New Albany team we got here next year. You know, Jordan Treat,
with Rylan Shrink and
James
Chris
Knox
Lampkins back,
throwing them the ball. So here's Miller. Miller throws it away. Gum again. Gum and 1. His second of the game. Reading the pass perfectly and finishing on the offensive end.
And mentioned builds at this, you know, lower level. And Owen Gum, we played baseball with his brother, and you know his dad a little bit, Ernie Gum. They all have the attributes to be an athlete.
Corbin Crone, nice pass off the offensive rebound to Luke Dablow, who knocks down a 3. Another steal for Scribner. This is Crone. Crone finds Gum, who finds Dablow cutting. Gonna get hit with the body on the cut. Grayson Gobert comes into the ball game for Scribner.
No, Washington just needed a sip, looks like, walking in with a Powerade.
You think he went to the concession stand to get that, or you think someone provided that for him?
You know, you never tell. It's probably served to him on a gold platter down there.
Jonah Martin down low. He's going to pick up a foul. We'll go to line to shoot 2.
Are we saying an over or under on a 2-minute break for Noah here?
I'm saying give him a little bit. 27-4. We saw this with Carson in the 7th grade game, where he really played first 4 minutes of the first quarter. Didn't come in this whole first half. Only had 6, but finished with 27. So Going to test to what he can do. Martin knocks down the second. Scribner still in this press. As Hazelwood does a nice job of getting around it.
A fundamental way of a press break there. Good passes without that lengthy Noah Washington in his.
George Cannon in the middle gets it tipped away and stolen by Gobert. Here comes Crone. Crone in the corner. Dablow's going to try another. Won't go. Jefferson comes away with the rebound, but stolen away by Gum. Gum through the lane, going to get fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
With Owen Gum and Noah Washington, I feel like I'm looking at a Kentucky Wildcats duo right now. Like DJ Wagner as Owen Gum, just driving to the lane, creating and getting fouled. And then Big Z and Noah Washington just creating, can shoot, play in the paint, and just do whatever you need him to do.
That's the comparison you want. You got it. Noah Washington, that bit of a break.
Definitely under the 2-minute mark on the break for Noah.
He'll take Jonah Martin out.
Gum looking to make this second. We mentioned his brother, baseball standout, Landon Gum. That's a nice offensive rebound from Gobert, who finds Dablow. Dablow's 3 won't fall. Rebounded by Caleb Thomas. Thomas gets it to Miller. Miller working top of the key, finds Thomas down low, and Thomas' free shot won't fall, but rebounded by Cannon. And Cannon gets backed.
Those are the shot attempts that you have to convert on with just the limited ones you're allowed with this zone that Scribner's in. You only scored 4 points in 1 quarter, and it's continuing to look like that. And then you get a wide open missed layup. It's not helpful for your team, but luckily George Cannon able to get the rebound, and he'll go to the line for 2. Pure on the first.
Well, Hazelwood has shown some good signs of ball movement here the last couple of possessions. Able to get open shots. And then the length of George Cannon. Able to get rebounds and knock down a couple of free throws. Here's Johnson in the corner. Johnson finds the high post in Gobert. Gobert goes to the ground, and the ball goes with him out of bounds. Go back to Hazelwood. Here's Thomas. Thomas gets it up top to Jefferson to beat the press.
Hazelwood does a great job against the press. Just
Miller
when they get down here.
will drive baseline, Euro step. They're going to get him for the travel there, trying to Euro through 3 defenders. Unsuccessful. Johnson all the way to the rack.
Little guy up there.
30-6. Just under 4 minutes to go.
What do you say at this point, though? I mean, Noah Washington's kind of like strutting down the court. It's not even a full jog. But with the 24-point lead, and, you know, you can get the bucket whenever you want to. So he's kind of just relaxing at this point, looking for the moment that he wants.
Yeah, the story is Noah Washington, but you got guys like Kyron Johnson and Owen Gum. Very good players.
I want to go back to that comparison that I made with DJ Wagner and Big Z. I mean, not a great game for the Cats last night. It was not looking good. But against Georgia, I definitely see it. With DJ Wagner double-double in points and assists, it's kind of how Owen's looking. Kind of finds Noah in the paint, but he can also go and get his own whenever he needs to. And then Noah just an all-around.
You mentioned the game last night, but I saw those 3, Kyron Johnson, Owen Gum, and Noah Washington in the crowd at the Louisville-Duke game last night. Maybe taking some notes from Duke, hopefully, as Louisville has put on a
not a great performance again.
Terrible.
Washington the other way. He's going to take.
Oh my gosh! Washington put him on a board
with no regard for human life.
I mean, that you will see that on the mixtape on Twitter later, folks.
I mean, to be in the crowd and witness that, you do not expect him to go rise up like that.
I mean, about
and
from
over top of somebody just makes it crazier.
I mean, about from the white line, like 5 feet from the hoop.
Washington converts the 3-point play. This is an 8th grader, folks. Hazelwood the other way. Washington gets a block. Give it to him. Gobert wants it. He misses Washington with the putback.
I mean, at that point, almost a standing putback. The length and athleticism of this kid is just insane. I mean, I can't sit down after that dunk. It's just crazy.
Here's Miller, working left side, picks up his dribble, gets it up top to Cannon. Cannon with Johnson all over him. Going to get a foul call. 35-6.
A little upset there that Gobert wasn't looking for Washington on that fast break.
I was wanting an alley-oop off the backboard.
Maybe off the backboard, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been something.
How about it?
Here's Miller working left side. Picks up his dribble. Johnson gets a hand on the entry pass. But Cannon is there.
Cannon kind of the one-man army for the Bullpups in this one.
It's going to be another whole sub out for Hazelwood. Or are we going to get a...
They high-five at the scores table, but Coach Johnson's selecting which ones he wants and which ones he doesn't. And it'll turn out to be...
Now everybody's going to go.
Everybody except Cannon. Oh, Cannon.
They have
six
on the court right now.
Cannon doesn't want to come out. He's saying to Coach, I'm the only person out here that's scoring the ball.
That's another turnover.
We're going to get a tip on, I believe, Corbin Crone. Hazelwood will retain possession. Here's Weathers out top. Martin. Washington all over him, excuse me. Gets it down low. Simmons. Shot won't go.
Here we go.
Baseball pass to Washington.
Oh, 360.
This kid's nuts.
And he's in 8th grade. Like, what are we watching right now?
I can't wait till after this game, go on Instagram, any platform, just see what it has.
We need something new for him. It's a dunk contest. Get a Kia parked in the paint.
Yeah, let's get a hoverboard out there. Throw somebody out there.
I want to see him dunk over Shaq right now, off the backboard.
Forte driving. He's going to get pushed by Dablo.
Chris Lampkins would have a field day out here with this defense that Scribner puts up.
Lampkins in the stands.
In the flesh, yeah. We have a lot of Bulldog basketball members here looking at their future possible teammates.
Jordan Tree up here.
Yeah, Landon Kirk as well, just right next to us, getting a view from the catwalk.
Like you said earlier, Hubs, a dunk contest, he actually participated in the New Albany dunk contest earlier this year. It was as an 8th grader coming in and going against like Rylan Shrink and Chris Lampkins, and it was just an amazing show. Noah did not win because Rylan had a couple amazing dunks, but it was something crazy to see.
How about that show for Rylan, though?
I believe Rylan came in as plus 2,000 favorite. Favorite, plus 2,000 odds. I think
he was not the favorite.
Chris Lampkins was the favorite.
Well, you look at the people
Noah,
yeah, you look at the people he's going against, and you look at Rylan, you're not expecting him, especially after last year, but I mean, he surprised me on what he showed during that event.
I think he had a oop off the backboard.
Yeah.
It was
perfect throw from Tree.
Like off the side of the backboard, not even just a front of the backboard type lob. It was off the side.
Lucas Parnell at the line splits the pair.
37-7.
Here comes Stansford down to Joshua in the corner. Joshua turns it over and then lets
turn to a little.
A lot of people on the ground right there.
Falling. Maybe Hazelwood ball out of that clump. Sub's not even allowed in the game. He's been sitting there. We'll take the bonus shots. Because once again, there has been a lot of foul calls in this, but you haven't really seen that out of this Scribner top of the defense out of Noah Washington. He's kind of getting physical up there and able to get those steals, but maybe the rest are in it for the show too. It's just a clinic for everybody here. Are we doing an autograph session after this for Noah?
Yeah,
anybody know?
I would not surprise if I see people taking pictures and getting autographs after this.
Forte misses the first. Coach Unruh knows all about that from the Romeo days. Setting up of the table as Forte knocks down the second. Washington moving across half court. He'll dish it down to Dennison. That's mentioned Dennison dunking pregame.
It's kind of enjoyable to watch pre-games in middle school because, they're allowed to dunk. You watch them in high school. If you, get up on the rim in a high school warm-up, it's a technical foul, and the other team's able to start with a free pair of free throws. Lucas Parnell, a deep three.
Rebound, Dennison. Washington leak out.
What's next?
That was one of the weaker of the dunks we've seen tonight.
I'll say we start grading these dunks out of 10. Each and every one of us, each time he gets the dunk, we get to throw a scale on it.
You see him try to leak forward right there.
Every time.
Every time on defense.
Look, he's just standing there waiting to get the
But
ball.
at this point, I think I'm
baseball pass. Nice catch by Gum. Nice find to Stanisford, who's too strong.
No, Washington in the backcourt, not up there for that one. But we'll get a pair of free throws out of Case and Stansford.
Stansford, the line. Knocks down the first.
42-8 is a crazy score. Not even before the half, and Noah Washington will get a breather for the last minute right before the half. Crazy turnout for him. 28 points in just one half of basketball. I mentioned a 46-point game. 28's half of 56, so maybe he can score half of 100 in this.
Hazelwood with the ball. Malachi Miller handoff to Forte.
Running clock, I believe that
there's going to be something.
The home run call from the referee.
Yeah, there's been a couple inverting whistles here tonight from these middle school referees.
How about a Dennison fast break here?
Going to get a travel as Miller falls to the ground.
You see these dunks out of Noah Washington, but we mentioned Dennison, and now I'm just eager to see what he can bring out of his bag. Maybe throw Noah Washington at the top, maybe get an extended 2-3 and let them two work together to just put on a dunk contest.
Stansford in the corner knocks down a three.
Stansford, a nice little shot behind what he has, and the Panthers are touching close to a 40-point lead, and it's not even halftime yet.
Lucas Parnell down low, can't finish. Owen Gum gets it out and knocked out of bounds off of Hazelwood. Scribner ball under running clock is in effect. Here's Crone left wing. Cross-court pass, Gum couldn't handle it.
I don't believe that Hazelwood will get a shot up off of this.
No. Probably take us into halftime. They're going to try Wood. Get us to Miller. Miller, it's knocked away by Gum. Still fires it up. Off of the backboard. Can't get it to fall. 45-8. Going into halftime.
I don't think anybody would expect to say a score such as that on air, but it is insane. And watching Noah Washington's just a blessing at this point, as we'll get a Junior Bulldogs dance team to come out and give us a halftime show. As I went to a dance competition this weekend for our Bulldogs, it was a pretty interesting turnout. They got some nice awards, and they will be planning on going to nationals for their dance. In 2 weeks, they'll travel to Disney in Florida to compete to show the nation what New Albany dance team has. As we'll see what the future holds for them here.
I still want to see a 100-point game by the Panthers and have Noah at like 80 points. I don't know.
It could happen.
Well, this turnout, I mean, just coach needs to let him.
Yeah.
This is history.
45-8. In a historic rivalry between two of the town's middle schools.
Well, yeah, you know, the Floyd Central New Albany rivalry is kind of what you get between Highland Hills, Scribner, and Hazelwood in the middle school area. But Hazelwood and Scribner tend to have friend groups mixed in with the closeness that they have.
Yeah, both these 8th grade teams will team up next year, as they do in the feeder systems throughout their careers.
The feeder system's not only popping in the 7th and 8th grade, but you got Little Wheels, Coach Wheeler's son, and Carter Stone, which are two incredible basketball players in the 5th and 6th grade.
I would love to see the Panthers play Highland Hills. I think that would be a game. Like, the energy would be so high. I think a lot of people would come to the doghouse and see Scribner play Highland Hills.
Well, Highland Hills has a player of their own that you kind of have to watch out for. Not a clue on his name, but I saw a few highlights from him, with the middle school area right now. And just in the world, I believe Noah Washington's top 10 in his class in the nation already at the young age.
I believe he came in at number 8 on one of the rankings.
That's what I wanted to say.
But, teaming up him on this current New Albany team, like we've said a lot of times, New Albany currently 11-3.
I'm excited. I'm excited for what the future holds for the Bulldogs with this 8th grade team going into New Albany next year, and then the 7th grade team following. It's just I think the Bulldogs have a bright future ahead in basketball.
Well, taking it away a little bit from boys basketball, we have some girls basketball struggling this year, but Seymour tomorrow, it'll be senior night for the Bulldogs, last game in regular season before they go to Floyd Central next Wednesday for their sectional matchup against B&L, one of the top teams in the conference with Chloe Spreen, Alabama commit, but Gracie Matheny's one of the upcoming players for their program, and just in general, the 8th grade teams from Hazelwood and Scribner allowing, coaching and in general playing time for the team. We've been calling all the games this year, and they only have 6 players. They started with 8, now down to 6. It's just kind of sad to watch here because New Albany tends to, 4A school, you would expect to have some competition put up, but just a 2-20 season right now. It doesn't look good on the New Albany girls basketball.
Yeah, but the future, you never know what the future holds. Is Emily Robinson was out the majority of this year with a knee injury. She was a player that was very looked at highly from this New Albany fan base, you could say. And she will be a good addition to the team next year once she gets healthy, as well as Grace McBride. She's been out for a couple months, I would want to say now. I'm going to say next week, a week from today, at Floyd Central, New Albany is going to knock off the Stars, defending state champs, and going to beat Bedford and Chloe Spreen.
You say that, but I'd love to see the rematch between B&L and Jennings County. Jillian Woodard going at it against Chloe Spreen. Jillian Woodard's a ball player. I mean, it's beautiful to watch her play. And Chloe Spreen, you kind of get like the guard, the Kyrie Irving vibe from her, but Jillian Woodard's just an all-around, I'd kind of give her Luka Doncic connections, and it's just, I just want to watch it. I missed the Jennings County New Albany game earlier in the season, and I listened to you on the air, and the turnout was funny to hear on the radio, but it probably wasn't that fun to watch in person.
It was kind of like this Scribner Hazelwood game.
I mean, I'm seeing
honest, it was 32-2 after the first quarter. Jennings County was up, and Julian Woodard going to Michigan State next year. She's a crazy good player for Jennings County, and favorites in that sectional.
Southern Indiana basketball is hot right now.
Yeah, if you haven't, the listener hasn't gone out and seen some girls basketball played in our conference, it's very, very good. And this sectional next week at Floyd Central is going to be a good opportunity to see some of the star-studded players.
Boys basketball too. You get some people around here, some names. Jack Benner is going to be talked about soon on this broadcast as New Albany will take on Brownstown Central later on in the year as they're having a great season of their own. Jack Benner going to Purdue. Broke a backboard last year. Hopefully, maybe we see Noah break a backboard tonight. How about it?
You could see Noah break
How about
a backboard.
mean, he's down there hanging on the rim, talking to fans.
Little monkey on the rim right now.
I mean, when he came out of halftime, there was just fans lined up to talk to him on the court. And then,
how do you feel like that at an 8th grader? I mean, you have paparazzi at an 8th grade. He has little kids trying to take pictures of him right now, and he's just telling them no because he's busy warming up.
And he had his own teammates like holding him back, like his bodyguards just holding him back from getting to talk to the fans that are just wanting to talk to him. There's going to be autographs and pictures taken after this game.
Well, no doubt the pressure builds on Noah, but he seems unfazed, especially tonight.
Landon Kirk seems to have a connection as he's just chilling on the Scribner bench right now with Coach Cadle, maybe somebody he's met throughout his career.
Wanting some insight maybe on Noah and how it's going to look next year?
Maybe he's picking something up for the Bulldogs now.
35 seconds until the second half starts. 45-8. Scribner leading.
How about we get a Jordan Treat opinion on this Noah Washington first half?
We're here with point guard Jordan Treat. And Jordan, the boys basketball team, we've talked about it a lot. 11-3 going into this weekend. First off, injury update. Heard a hyperextension of the knee, was out for the last couple of games. And some people stepped up in your absence, but we would need you back. So we'll see what, give us a little injury update.
I'm doing good. Going to the trainer, got the best trainers in the state. I've been going to PT, so it's looking good.
Yeah, do we have a timetable for return yet?
It's a surprise.
All right, it's a surprise.
We got a surprise comeback.
So we'll let Jordan off the air as the third quarter starts. Will be Scribner ball. Can't wait to have Jordan Treat back playing basketball. Romeo Langford court.
Thank you, Jordan.
Noah is starting the second half off. I just wonder how long he's going to be in
Well, at 28 points right now, can we get some scoring predictions for this?
Oh, Noah backdoors behind the three. Tough finish.
Just effortless, though. And jogs down the court like that's a simple move. So now at 30, with 12 minutes of play left, he scored 28 in first half. What are we thinking final turnout for Noah Washington is going to be?
I think it just depends on how much he plays in the second half. Like, if he plays how much he did in the first half.
Well, you also have a running clock. You have to take that into matter.
But if he does play as much as he did in the first half, I think I don't know. If he tries to pass the ball around, then maybe 40.
But Johnson gets the steal, but an errant pass gives it right back to Hazelwood.
Let's see 60.
Yeah, I want to see 60.
Washington gets the ball handed to him. No looking, stopping, kicks it in the corner to Crone. Crone pump fake, right side, Gum. Gum will drive the lane, finish with the right hand.
There's that DJ Wagner in him. Get him to the basket, get whenever he wants.
Lackadaisical defense there by the Bullpups. Kind of just gave up at this point. They're not even to double digits yet. Noah Washington, another fast break.
Noah finishing with the left hand.
I give that one a 7 out of 10. Yeah. It was with the left hand.
I'll give it a 6. You know, after seeing that posterizer, though, you gotta hold it against him.
That was definitely a 10.
Yeah. 10 easy.
Little Ryland Shrink-esque, if you will.
Yeah, on Seymour a couple weeks ago, that was a great game to be at.
As soon as this broadcast's over, I'm going back and watching the replays.
Thomas can't get his drive to fall, but George Cannon gets the putback.
And the Bullpups will now break the double digits, still down 40, though.
Gum finds a cutting Crone. Crone will finish at the rim.
Is that DJ Wagner?
That is that DJ Wagner, getting assists and points. He just can do it all.
Here's Miller. At the top, Crone comes in for the double team, but Miller works around it. Hands it off to Cannon. Cannon working left side. We'll hand it right back to Miller. Working left baseline. He's going to get fouled.
A slower paced offense there by the Bullpups, not allowing for any turnovers.
Well, the bigger thing is just not, turning the ball over.
Got some subs in, and Noah is going to go to the bench, so maybe take away from that 60. He's at 30. He's got half of it, so.
It's a running clock, and I don't know how much more he's going to play.
George Cannon looks nice. If there's somebody you're looking at for the Bullpups, if you want to have some hype for the Hazelwood team, your Hazelwood alumni, George Cannon's out there for you.
Stansford 3 won't go. Cannon rebound and pulls through the defenders, who will get a foul.
I like the hustle out of George Cannon. I mean, they're down 40.
He's still trying,
He's still trying. He's still playing his heart out there. I like it. I like the toughness and grit out of him.
Stansford comes away with the ball, gets it up to Johnson, who finishes with the left hand.
We still can't sleep on Johnson and Owen Gum whenever Washington's out a kind of Corbin Crone truck there. Owen Gum's going to get the steal off the press.
Nice tip pass from Johnson.
Owen Gum with 9 on the contest, and another steal by Johnson. A lot of hustle on the defense out of him. A timeout.
Very fast. Just going to get a substitution timeout.
Yeah, coach called that sitting down.
As Lop comes in the game for Johnson. Johnson not pleased.
Not even going to stop the clock for this timeout. Kind of a late stop there. Ran off a few seconds.
Well, I think Coach Cadle just wanted a substitution timeout, so normally both teams would just play through that, which is what it's going to be.
Another Hazelwood confusion on the substitutions. It'll look like a new 5 for them. You can't really be disappointed in your Hazelwood team. You got D1 prospect Noah Washington along with some little goons with him.
Crone 3 won't go. So Weathers pulls down the board. 57-12. Just under 2 minutes to go.
Ooh.
Weathers nice behind the back, but loses control.
That would have been nice for the Bullpups.
Crone looking up for Stansford. Can't connect. Go out of bounds, back to Hazelwood. So Isaiah Medley checks into the ballgame for the first time tonight.
Gavin, back when we played at Hazelwood in our middle school days, we took it to the championship a few years. Didn't get first, but
we did take it to the championship a few times. I mean, the Scribner and Hazelwood battle was much closer whenever we were
way
playing.
close.
I mean, the Scribner had Jeremy Rose, Chase Lush, Landon Gum, and then we had me, you, Blaine Hamilton, Malik, who was Michael Nelson.
A lot of our players don't even play basketball anymore.
Yeah, a lot of the
I
Hazelwood
wouldn't even
guys.
say a single player that we had.
We had Trayvon.
Trayvon is the only New Albany Bulldog that, or really anybody in the area that still plays basketball. So we were kind of just a pickup team at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we still kept it close. It was just a really close battle, a lot closer than this is.
Yeah. Gum, another steal and another fast break where he finishes.
Kind of heaves up the court on these steals like he's going to try to punch it down.
And we're going to get a timeout.
That basket right there puts Owen Gum into double digits at 11.
Put Noah Washington back in.
I want to see it. I want more dunks. I want to rate more dunks.
Well, he's at 30. I guess that's enough.
We want to talk about the next year. After you were in high school, Caden, the freshman, we had a couple of 8th graders stayed down and play with the then 7th graders and moved up to 8th grade and actually transfer schools. Let's call them traders, if you will. And then Scribner just dominated.
Oh, yeah, Gavin, I can't forget you. You went to Scribner your 8th grade year.
Me, Landon Gum, I transferred to Scribner because the Hazelwood talent was
Jordan Treat also transferred to Scribner.
He also transferred to Scribner.
It would have been me and Jordan on Hazelwood, but that was really it.
Well, they
that's
tried
not something you do in the middle school year. You don't enter the transfer portal in the middle school years.
Scribner tried to create a super team to take down Jeff. It just did not happen.
Well, their football team had a super team. I actually went to a football game in their 8th grade year, and you all had what it took, and I liked seeing it. Kind of a funny team.
When you think about it now, Jeff, like River Valley had, they
had
had four of the Jeff starters now, and then we have only 2 players that even play basketball.
And PJ and Trey were just as big as they were back then in comparison to how they are now. But looking at other people.
Dablo gets the steal. Nice find.
You know what a better pass would be? A backdoor lob. to Noah Washington.
8
Just one
seconds
more.
left in the third quarter. Stansford gets another steal. Looking up to Medley. Medley will finish at the buzzer and one.
Well, he's holding his head. He got whacked going up by that Jermaine Simmons. Tried to get a LeBron James chase down block. And Isaiah Medley able to finish through the tough contact. And the chance at the line to convert that into 3. Kind of got a Rihanna Marshall flashback there almost. Able to send it back.
Medley at the line. Knocks it down.
And we're deep into Scribner's bench now.
68-12. Sure score. Scribner leading going into the fourth quarter.
I mean, 100's possible. Totally capable. 68-12. It's a blowout. It's fun to watch. You know, it wouldn't be as fun if this was a high school game where we got New Albany getting blown out, but you know, it's a neutral court here. It's kind of fun to watch, especially at the age level this is with the competition they put up and the skill level that they're playing at. Maybe not so much the Hazelwood, but I can be biased right now. They got Noah Washington. It's so fun to watch.
Definitely an exciting group. Owen Gum, Noah Washington, Kyron Johnson.
Well, you think about
able
it.
to get out on
Does
breaks.
the coach even have to coach at this point?
No, never do.
No.
7th grade coach didn't have to coach. It's Sean Garman.
He does a lot for New Albany.
New Albany alum.
Yeah, he's part of the NHS Dog Pound, funds a lot of stuff for them. And Coach Payne on the bench, former New Albany worker. Jermaine Simmons.
Also Mr. Hamilton, PE teacher at Scribner.
A lot of names that we know. Crowd's kind of eased down as the blowout's extended.
Isaiah Medley gets blocked down low by Jordan Weathers. There's Jenkins. Gonna get a foul on Medley.
Medley getting his get back from where he got whacked before that quarter ended. Panthers are gonna have to score quickly if they're gonna touch that triple-digit scoring breakdown.
I think
and
if
if
it
you
was,
imagine the score deficit.
I think if running clock wasn't a thing, I think they could have got to 100.
Maybe 200.
Yeah. If they had Noah
has 100 himself.
If they had DJ Wagner and Big Z in the game still, I just love that combo.
Jenkins drives, will get fouled. They're gonna call it on the floor though.
I'm praying that Noah Washington gets the finger to come to the scorer's table. I believe he's waiting on it too.
Steal by Gobert. And
there's a point to being a good teammate, and then there's a point to, we're up by enough. Let me do what I want.
Yeah, honestly, if put Noah in the game now, just sitting by the basket down here on defense, New Albany's not having any trouble stopping this bullpup offense.
Big body screen there by Caleb Jenkins.
And we're gonna get a foul on.
Kind of like the sweatband that he's rocking.
The combo that I love even more is Kyron, Owen, Jonah, and Noah. It's like a Wendy's 4-for-4. It's just so good. I just
Medley,
love
a little
that
bit
combo.
of everything. Get a little bit of everything.
Medley gonna get stripped from behind. The JT Lop there to get it off to Gobert, who finishes in the paint.
Nice little follow through on that floater. 70-12. These Panthers are just towering and collapsing on these bullpups. And it's to the point where these bullpups are just done. I mean, the refs could just call it at this point, and I don't think anybody but Noah Washington in the crowd would be upset about it.
But you know who you see running onto the court? George Cannon. He is still putting in effort.
George Cannon.
JT Lop and Luke Dablow back into the game. Not much out of JT Lop. Maybe a shot here?
Ooh. Got it to fall from the right wing.
Hush me up real quick and put one through. and get the scoring back started is
Malachi Miller. Nice take, nice finish.
Maybe some hype built back up by the bench.
Here's Dablo. Dablo, nice find, but good hands by Miller.
Say the DJ Wagner passes. I like how Dablo's seeing the floor, kind of reading the room.
Here's Joshua from the right side. Won't get it to fall. Rebound by Hazelwood.
The bench is wanting somebody to score. I believe it might have been Joshua.
As
Jumping
Miller
up and down.
Takes a quick three. Won't get it to fall.
Maybe a Joshua ISO here? I know Washington might be able to get Joshua a bucket. Throw him in there for a little bit. He's running baseline. George Cannon.
Off the ref. It's
kind of
stolen
complaining
away by
about
Miller. Miller throws it up on the break. Can't get it to fall.
That's kind of crazy that there's no foul call there.
Blocked. But a foul call. Larry Jefferson from behind.
Went up there and tried to, just grab it and pull the guy down with him. Nice attempt there. Fancy shoes he has on.
Yeah, nice shoes, I believe.
LaMelo Ball, maybe?
Yeah, LaMelo's, maybe a hint of Kyrie.
I like
from
him.
Up here.
I like him.
Hey, they're flashy. And that was a flashy block he had there.
Those are LaMelos. They more of the
there
vibrant.
We go.
More
no
of the
name on the roster,
colors.
but number 13 for the Panthers puts a free throw down, gets a standing ovation.
George Cannon sky hook won't go.
Sprinting down the floor.
Dablo Euro blocked by Miller.
No, I'd rather have that one called a foul than Larry Jefferson's chase down. Still defensive effort put up. It's just so much, not so much on the offense there for the Bullpups.
In the corner, back. Joshua, right wing, just off the front of the rim. Rebound by who else but George Cannon. He'll take it coast to coast. Gets the left, flow, just rolls out.
George Cannon
gets the foul.
He's not having it. He's trying, but, he's not having fun. And George Cannon deserves to have fun out here.
74-14. He's doing his best to get the Bullpups back into this game.
Down 60 in a middle school game should never be the story. But tonight, there's no Owen Gum almost outscored
George Cannon can't get the first one to fall.
George Cannon had the chance to double digits if he would have knocked that one down as well as this one being put up right now. Still.
Cannon, big free throw to cut the lead to 59. Here's Dablo in the corner. Joshua gets a man on a flyby three. He won't go. Offensive rebound, Gobert.
Well, you almost have kids on the floor right now.
Gets it to Dablo. Dablo will drive baseline. Kick in the corner to Lop. Lop three won't fall. Rebound by Jefferson.
Joshua putting an effort down there.
And gets it off to Cannon. Cannon all the way and one.
George Cannon.
I love the hustle.
Let's stay after get a George Cannon, Noah Washington 1v1 going. I've got the over-under at 6. I think George Cannon can put up a fight against the Phenom.
George Cannon is going to be special.
That's 11 on the contest for him. The chance at 12.
Only limited minutes as well. Hard off the basket, gets his own rebound, puts it up, can't get it to fall.
That was purposeful. He was trying to cut the lead down. Clock's not starting. George Cannon has more time to get a bucket.
Gobert, jump shot won't go. JT Lop in the corner, knocks it down.
We have a dance competition going down below the Scribner bucket.
Running point, kicks it off to Miller. Miller makes a nice move, working up top through the lane. Left side,
7 seconds.
Stolen by Dablo. Out of bounds. The clock's going to run out.
Buzzer beater.
77-17.
60-point win for the Panthers in what was just a story for the Panthers offense and George Cannon.
Let me tell you, George Cannon did his absolute best to try to get Hazelwood into this game. And story of the night, obviously, Noah Washington.
I'm so upset they didn't get to play that last quarter and some minutes in the end of that third. Looking for some more we got what we wanted. We got what we wanted, and we got to see some off the benches. JT Lopp, a huge three to get the crowd going, and just in general.
And now you see the Panther students storming the court almost to go talk to George Cannon and Noah Washington.
Well, Washington definitely gave us a show tonight, but also Owen Gum, Kyron Johnson right there with him. Owen Gum had 13. Johnson just 7, but the amount of steals and athleticism he showed on the fast breaks really brought an eye, and Noah Washington finished with 30. George Cannon, 11, did his best trying to work through.
You see the strategic free throw, you chuck it off the backboard for the offensive rebound, and he almost gets it to go.
Worked perfectly for George Cannon. Scribner comes out with a 77-17 win for the 8th grade. They won the 7th grade game 66-29. So this Scribner team is definitely going to be, the Scribner couple of classes here is definitely going to be some to watch, as we're going to see who, if we get a interview to come up.
And maybe George Cannon too.
And like I said, Noah Washington, pictures after the game. Right out here. He hasn't even left the court yet. We're not even in the hallway. He's still on the court getting pictures.
Maybe we could slide in a picture if we could possibly get him up here for an interview. I'd love to ask a few questions. We have so many fans here. It's not the normal turnout. You got Roberson, TJ Washington, Pierre, and James Knox, just a few members of the Bulldog program here.
What the future beholds for them. TJ, a sophomore, both Knox and Pierre, juniors.
Hopefully have the chance to play with Noah Washington next year here at the Doghouse. Ava Wheeler in the house, part of the Borden girls basketball program.
They've been doing a run.
Yeah, they've been doing real good this year.
Yeah, I believe 3 losses on their schedule, but they got a tough matchup in Lanesville, both on the opposite side of the bracket. And I was texting Caden, may want to make a drive up to West Washington to see if them two match up, Lanesville and Borden.
Not able to go to it earlier in the season, where Borden fell just short to Lanesville. I mean, Noah Washington has at least 20 kids surrounding him.
Yeah, he's getting surrounded. At what point do you say, I got to go to the locker room?
I mean, he's taking selfies with his kids right now. But I really want to see George Cannon up here.
I'd love to have George Cannon up here. A few questions for him, or just, overall, because I don't want that to stop him from, trying at the New Albany level. Maybe seeing him on the freshman team next year, working his way up into the starting lineup throughout his years.
With the performance we saw tonight, maybe be the starting 5 on the varsity level for New Albany next year.
Just like my Wendy's 4-for-4, you get a little bit of everything.
That's what you
get effort out of him.
You saw the basketball IQ when he misses the free throw, to cut it to 59. Just very, very smart player and good all around. George Cannon.
Yeah, I would like to see George Cannon wiggle his way into that 4-for-4. I'd love it.
Can get a little wheels clinic there as he's in a little ISO. We wait patiently up here, hoping that we can get somebody to interview.
Noah's just trying to get off the court, but fans are just storming him still.
I don't believe we'll get the chance.
Yeah. So we will wrap it up here as New Scribner comes out 77-17, but the big part of the reason this is being broadcast just show how talented these players are that are going to be in the Bulldog system, and hopefully they stay with New Albany and play out there.
If you don't have the chance
here
to come out and watch a middle school game throughout the rest of the season, come out next year and hope to see some Noah Washington performance. Probably not the same clinic that you'll receive at the high school level, but there's a lot of talent behind this kid and what he does on the floor.
Yeah, it definitely won't be the dunk contest-esque night like you saw tonight, but definitely be a show every time he steps between the black lines.
And then Coach Jones talking currently to Noah's dad, hopefully definitely trying to get him to come to New Albany. A lot of kids are, just, I don't know, they're just trying to figure out where the best place for them to succeed is. And I think Coach Jones is just trying to persuade them, telling them that this is the best fit and best option for him in the future.
We'll wrap it up. I'm Tyler Hubbard on play-by-play. Caden Rogers, Gavin Rand on color as Scribner wins both games, the 8th and the 7th, as we will say goodnight.